is a presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the Oklahoma Sports Network's consent is prohibited. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be used without express written consent.
Hello and welcome, everybody. We are back. High school football is live on the Oklahoma Sports Network. The start of district play tonight. It's the Newcastle Racers and the Duncan Demons at McCaslin Field at Halliburton Stadium in Duncan, Oklahoma. Josh Calloway on hand, joined alongside my partner Billy Collier, Uriah Martinez, working the camera for us tonight here in Duncan. Billy, it's the final Friday of September. It means district play starts. And here we go. I mean, the non-district play, you get those big games, those big rivalry games. Obviously, you play really good teams like Elgin last week. But now, here you go. The same teams every year. We just saw these same six. You flip it around this year. And this is what's going to determine the postseason. That all starts tonight. The race to a district title begins here in Duncan. Here we go. I mean, these are the big games now.
These are the ones that count. These are the ones that are right there, ready to go, and looking good. Now, remember, they haven't lost a game in district.
That's right. Defending champs last year went 6-0.
And one of the things I've noticed is real neat, the same 10 teams they played last year, the same 10 teams are playing this year.
Same order.
Same order.
Same order. Just flipping home and road. Yeah.
That's right. So I think it's gonna be a good night. I'm looking forward to a good start to the district. I know they felt that they wanted to beat Elgin, but they felt they did pretty well.
Yeah.
Against Elgin, they kept it competitive for quite a bit of the game. And so they're looking forward to getting district play started.
No doubt. I mean, last year, the Racers, obviously first year in 5A, coming up here to 5A1. They won this thing, went 6-0 in their first season, and we talked about it, throughout the years, but certainly especially last year. The Racers fully expect to be a playoff team, right? Yes. You got to finish in the top four to be a playoff team. Newcastle more than expects to be in the top four, but every game is going to be huge because getting into that top line, that's what sets you up for a deep postseason run. And last year, Newcastle wins the district. They're the number one seed. They got a home playoff game in the first round where they beat Noble. They got a home playoff game in the quarterfinals against Pryor where they won that game as well. Then also they were in the semis and had the close loss to Guthrie. But that whole run was set up by the fact that they won their district in the regular season. So every Friday night from here on out is going to be huge, and we talk about it every year. Point differential is going to be huge. I mean, you can't take even one drive off in these district games. Here to the end of the line, every possession could be the difference in, a deep postseason run or maybe going out early.
Right, and especially when it comes to home team.
Yeah.
Home field.
No doubt. No doubt. You got to get in that top two to get to at least a home game.
That's right, and if you're new to this, that means if you beat somebody by 8 and somebody else beats somebody by 12, but y'all's records are tied, the one who had the bigger point differential is the one that will move into the higher ranking.
Yeah.
And that could mean a possible home field.
No doubt. And we'll obviously dive into that every week. We'll be checking the standings. We'll actually take a peek at the standings here in just a little bit, which, again, everyone has a record. Duncan's 3-1, Newcastle's 2-2. But for the sake of winning the district, everyone's on the same spot right now. Everyone is 0-0. Everyone has a point differential of 0. And that's where that can come into play because, like Billy just said, if it comes down to ties and you look at the point differential, that can be the difference sometimes in, who knows, even maybe making the playoffs or not, but certainly a seeding, home game, not home game. So that's where every single week and making sure you take care of business every single week is going to be paramount for these teams. But it's exciting. We're getting ready to flip into October next week, and here we go, Billy. I mean, this is the get into the meat and potatoes of the season, obviously, here into district play. I'm excited here. First time that you and I have ever been out here to Duncan. Great facilities, great hospitality, and we're very excited for this one. It's going to be a great night of football here down in Duncan.
Yeah, it has a great feel. From where we're sitting, you see like the older trees in the background, the sycamore stuff, and it has kind of that old football feel,
It
kind
does,
of that traditional feel to it. And so it's really neat to be out here. A lot of the rock wall going around it and things really looks like you almost feel like you step back in time.
Yeah.
Looking at the field and how it's set up.
No doubt. It's going to be a fun night of football here. We appreciate everyone who has tuned in. It's a little bit of a journey from Newcastle down to Duncan. Certainly we've done much further, but it's a bit of a journey down here. So for everyone who didn't make the trip down, we appreciate you being tuned in wherever you're watching from. And it should be a good and fun night of football down here in Duncan, Oklahoma. This is the countdown to kickoff presented by Creek Bottom Barbecue and Burgers. Fresh smashed onion burgers, hand-cut fries, slow-smoked brisket, pulled pork and ribs, along with homemade sides made fresh every day. For a great burger or great barbecue, be sure to come see us at 1107 Northwest 32nd Street in Newcastle, or you can call them at 405-387-9416. We'll step aside for a quick break. When we come back, we'll start to really dive into this matchup a little bit, what's to know about the Duncan Demons, and what the Racers need to do to get a win tonight to open up district play. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the Newcastle Racers pregame show right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
Like there was a time when you'd have to put a hole there and 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 there. But this is just the same basic hole, and then you pick the direction you want to go.
Just having a 3-mile lateral, I think you're eliminating something like 60 wells that you'd have to put in.
That's a great leap forward.
You're able to tap the reservoir, and you have less of a footprint.
It never fails to blow me away.
Stuck inside for Wi-Fi? Not this summer. With Pioneer Fiber, get backyard Wi-Fi up to 950 feet from your home. So you can binge, game, Zoom, or work straight from your hammock. Add it for just $9.95 a month or get it free with a gig bundle. That's cheaper than your cold brew fix. Visit a Pioneer store or gopioneer.com and level up your summer.
Back here in Duncan, McCaslin Field at Halliburton Stadium. I think that's the official name. I did some double checking. I had seen Halliburton Stadium, but then the big sign over here says McCaslin Field, so I did some Googling. I think that's a new addition this year. So the official name, hopefully I'm correct, any Duncan folks tuned in, let me know if I'm wrong, McCaslin Field at Halliburton Stadium, yeah, I think is the full name.
I think kind of like Gene Reed Field at the Castle.
Yes, exactly. So there you have it. But it's going to be a great night of football here. We're excited to be here down in Duncan. Josh Calloway, Billy Collier here setting the stage for this one, the first night of district play in 5A1. The defending district champ Racers on the road to open up play in 5A1, taking on the Duncan Demons here tonight, who are off to a good start of their season at 3-1. That's where I want to go next, Billy. Let's meet Duncan a little bit. We mentioned 3-1 to start the year, coached by Matt Terry. So far this year, they opened up a 30-29 win in the opener at Bridge Creek, obviously just a stone's throw from us in Newcastle. 26-23 win over Cache in their second game. Obviously, that game was on OSN against the Bulldogs. Big loss to Guthrie, 42-10 in their third game. That's their lone loss of the year. Obviously, the Blue Jays were defending 5A runner-up. Racers played them in the semifinals last year. And then last week, Duncan got their third win, a 28-10 victory over Shawnee to this point in the season. That has them sitting at 3-1 going into district play tonight. Billy, for you, looking into Duncan a little bit, what were some things that maybe stood out to you checking out the Demons a little bit in preparation for this one?
Well, and it was kind of hard to see when you just saw a few games. I don't ever want to disrespect any team at all. The three teams that they have won have all combined for one victory, and that's just Shawnee. Shawnee is 1-2. The others are 0-3. And so it's kind of misleading, I think, when you see that 3-1. They do have some really good players. They're all seniors. Quarterback Sawyer Rice is excellent. He's great with his legs. If he doesn't see anything open, he will take off and run. Tavian Holland's a big guy. It takes a lot to bring him down. Then they got two wide receivers that are really good, Jason Quartermeyer and Boston White. Mm-hmm. So looking at the Duncan team, they have the pieces. They have the players. How well they do against teams that have winning records, I'm not sure that they are at that level yet. But they do. They're not somebody to just kind of blow off.
Sure.
They're not somebody to just act like it's no big deal. I think I'm looking for Newcastle to have some pretty good success tonight against them. But the Duncan Demons, like I said, have these good guys in good places you need leaders. But I'm not sure, again, the three teams they beat are 1-8 combined. And so you're just wondering, okay, so who's going to show up? Will it be the Shawnee game where they just really went out and just put it to them? Will it be the Bridge Creek where they had to come back and beat them by 1? Is it the Cache game where they were pretty well in control of it, but then Cache started coming back? Or is it the Guthrie one?
Yeah, right.
It's almost a tale of 2 or 3 different teams.
Right.
And so, again, I feel that the 3-1 is a little misleading.
Sure. No, this district sets up kind of interestingly because, obviously Newcastle won the district last year, so you have to consider them right at the top of the favorites in going into this season. Bishop McGinnis figures to be right in the mix up there. Lawton MacArthur probably. After that, it's like I don't know what to make of a lot of these teams. Midwest City, who we'll see next week. Duncan's certainly here tonight. Southeast is off to a 4-0 start. Is that just a product of their schedule? I mean, these are all things that will become evident. They'll reveal themselves over time as we go through the rest of the season. But we're going to learn a lot about this Duncan team here tonight. And this is one of those squads that obviously didn't make the playoffs last year that is looking to jump up and make a move here. And they're off to a good start, 3-1, like you said. But what's going to stand out is that when they played who we would all consider an upper echelon team in 5A Guthrie, didn't go well. But we'll find out what happens tonight, what adjustments they can make. This is an experienced Duncan team.
Yes.
Sawyer Rice was, starting quarterback a year ago. He can use his legs. So they have a lot of older players. You were even just kind of we were joking about it. They have the seniors here next to the field, all like the big cardboard cutouts for their senior year. There's a lot of them. I mean, it goes from the 10-yard line down to the opposite 20, or maybe opposite 10. The length of the field showing all the seniors are on this squad. So they're an old team. There's a team that's played a lot of football. So you're not going to probably get them to just kind of blink in the moment of a big game. It's more, can you just go man-to-man and beat them? So we'll find out how that all shakes out as we go along here this evening. Let's get into our keys to the game for tonight's ball game here, presented by Focus Federal Credit Union. Drive your dreams with their competitive rates and flexible terms for more than 70 years. Focus Federal Credit Union has continued to deliver innovative products and services to our membership about all things financial by anticipating needs and delivering exceptional member service. See them at their Tri-City branch, 1097 Northwest 32nd Street in Newcastle. Member FDIC. Billy, for you, the keys to the game tonight for Newcastle get off to a 1-0 start in district play.
If the front 6, the 4 on the line and then 2 linebackers, if they can keep Tavian Holland, the running back, as well as Sawyer Rice, keep them from having any success running, That will leave the other 5 back in coverage. I think it will be a good night for Newcastle. So it's going to take them holding them up front. On offense, they're going to have to move things around and change it up. Again, you're right. I'm looking, there's 16 seniors on this team. They're not going to be thrown by very much. They've seen just about everything you can. Remember, Newcastle came in as an unknown last year and beat them. And so they're no longer an unknown, and I can't help but think of these 16 seniors weren't real happy for the new guy to beat them last year. So there may be a little bit into that as well. But I think if the front 6 can keep the run game at a minimum, I think that will free up the defensive backs to be able to cover the receivers. On offense, I think if you get them used to doing the same thing and they can assume what you're doing or know what you're getting ready to do, I think you're in for a long night if you're Newcastle.
No doubt. I think Newcastle's coming into this game feeling like they're the team that should win it, and so I think avoiding big mistakes is going to be a key tonight. No big turnovers, stuff like that is I think going to be of use for Newcastle tonight to try and come on the road and get this thing done. I agree with everything you said. Should be an entertaining game here tonight as the Racers try to get off to a good 1-0 start in district play.
Well, and I think you brought up a good point. I think tonight penalties are going to be a lot bigger.
Penalties were a killer last week,
They have killed several drives that Newcastle has had, as well as their opponents who came in and played. So they're going to have to really work on no penalties tonight.
Right there with you. Newcastle come in and play a clean game. You feel good about your chances. But obviously you got to do that first to get there and try to get the job done here tonight. Take a look at the schedule for the Racers this season. This is what we've done so far. Obviously, Bartlesville in the season opener. Tuttle, the big win over Blanchard, 63, and then Elgin last week. We're now into district play. We'll come back to Racer Stadium next Friday for the Midwest City Bombers make their way to Gene Reed Field. On October the 17th, Class and SAS will come to Newcastle. Notice the jump in the dates there. 10-10, that weekend will be the bye week for the Racers. It's always funky because they're in a 7-team district, so their bye week is much later than most teams. So note that there on October 10th, the Racers will have the week off. Classen, they'll come into town on October 17th. Lawton Mac should be a big one there on October 24th. Halloween night, Bishop McGinnis, a huge game, it would seem, in the District 5A1 race. And then we'll close out the regular season with Southeast on November the 7th. Playoffs will start the week after that. And by the way, last year, if you remember, there was that weird gap in the playoffs. I don't believe that's the case this year. It will be kind of just straight through week after week after week leading up to the state championship game, which will be at UCO. I think I meant to double-check this before we went on the air. I think it's a early kick at UCO this year. I want to say the 5A kick championship game is like at noon or something. Like it's a day kick, which you don't get a lot of in high school football. No. So if that comes to be, we'll be there on an afternoon in early December at UCO. So that's the schedule ahead for the Racers. Season hitting the midway point of the regular season, that is, here tonight in Duncan. All right, let's go ahead and step aside one more time here. We'll come back, and Billy and I will take a look at some of the other games in 5A1 that we'll be peering in on tonight. We'll take a peek at those district standings as things kick off this evening all around the great state of Oklahoma. We'll also let you know what else is on the air on OSN this evening and continue to set the scene here from Duncan. It's the Newcastle Racers, the Duncan Demons. The Newcastle Racers pregame show rolls on after this on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
At CFD, our mission is to deliver quality dentistry by providing big practice benefits with a little practice feel. Since 2008, we've updated our look, technology, and have added new smiles to our tenured staff to better care for you right here at home. Convenience for you is one of our biggest goals, and we often provide same-day treatment to minimize your time off work. We are open Monday through Friday to serve you. Visit cfdok.com for details. We look forward to seeing you at our big little practice.
Look up at our screen right here. That's our lifeblood. That's how we know what's going on at 14,700 foot.
Because you're completely blind otherwise.
That's correct.
people don't really understand the level of tech that's going on.
Yes, sir. Well, this whole thing is extremely high tech. I mean, just the ability to be able to drill down 13,000 feet and then put 90-degree turn in the well and then drill out another 3 miles.
It doesn't matter how casually you say it. It's a freaking miracle, man.
Yes, sir.
Back at McCaslin Field, Josh Calloway, Billy Collier on the Oklahoma Sports Network, getting closer to kickoff of this one, the Racers and the Duncan Demons, the opening of play in District 5A1 this evening here in Duncan, Oklahoma. We're excited for this one. We're getting close, about 8.5 minutes or so for getting things rolling here in Duncan, Oklahoma. By the way, if it sounds kind of weird, you're like, why can't I hear the field? We're in a booth here in Duncan. Great facilities, great hospitality here at McCaslin Field, but we're in a booth where the windows don't open, so we're alone with our thoughts here. It's a little strange, Billy. It's very secluded in here.
Yeah, please understand
we can't hear the game at all. By the way, what you hear is what we hear.
Right, we're not in a basement playing Xbox. Yeah. Hoping you understand.
We're not doing the game remotely.
No,
we are here in Duncan, but it's a little different. We cannot hardly hear outside at all, so it'll be a little bit of lacking on the atmosphere, if you will, for us tonight here in Duncan, but we're still thrilled to be here. Great facilities and a great setup here in Duncan. Very happy to be here as usual. Captains are headed out there for the coin toss. While they do, let's take a quick peek at the standings coming into play tonight. Again, nobody's played a district game, so really everyone's tied. This is just putting the order of their overall records, but that doesn't actually mean anything. I know that's a little confusing. This is how OSSAA has it ordered for now, though. Bishop McGuinness and Southeast both 4-0 going to play tonight. There's Duncan at 3-1, Lawton Mac at 3-1, Racers, of course, 2-2, Midwest City 1-3, and Classen 0-3 to start the year. The line showing you there, a little bit of a visual way to see it, but the top 4 teams will make the postseason, so the bottom 3 will not. As for games in 5A1 tonight, Bishop McGuinness is at Classen tonight, and Southeast is at Midwest City tonight. So very interesting matchup there in that one, Southeast, Midwest City. Both those teams are kind of a little bit of, I don't know what to make of them. We'll learn a little bit more about those two teams tonight as Southeast and Midwest City. That game's also on the Oklahoma Sports Network tonight as well. Coin flip, by the way, presented by Bail Bonds by Tamara. Have you missed the ball on paying a ticket? Call Bail Bonds by Tamara at 405-200-5110. 15-plus years of serving the community. Tamara Bail Bonds, our coin flip sponsor this year on OSN. The coin toss, was it won by the Racers, I think it was?
Yes, the Racers won it, and they're going to receive.
So there you have it. Newcastle wins the flip, and they say they want the football first here on the road. The Racer captains electing to take the football to start this ball game here coming up in just a few moments. We mentioned their Midwest City Southeast on the Oklahoma Sports Network tonight. Some of the other games that are on our airways. It's a packed Friday night. There are 11 games on OSN tonight, Billy, including ours. Wow. 11. It's a full slate this evening, including some really big ones. Lawton Eisenhower taking on Stillwater. Cash and Elk City doing battle. Elgin's got Woodward. Walters and Christian Heritage. Altus taking on El Reno. Del City, Collinsville in a very big and fun one in 5A there. Mentioned Midwest City Southeast, a very intriguing game for Racers fans. We'll see both those teams later this year. Midwest City comes to Newcastle next Friday night. Carl Albert's got Western Heights. Bethany doing battle with Chickasha. And Jones is taking on Perry tonight. Those are all games on OSN. It's an 11-game Friday across the network tonight. So we're in the throes of it now. District play underway. A packed slate every single week, and it's going to be fun to be along for the ride all year on OSN. A lot of fun teams to watch on the network this year, and we certainly have one here with the Newcastle Racers. So we're just moments away from getting this thing started. about 5-ish minutes or so. Racers will be on offense first. We'll go ahead and step aside one more time. This has been the Newcastle Racers pregame show and the countdown to kickoff presented by not presented by Focus Federal Credit. That was last year. It's Creek Bottom Barbecue and Burgers. I'm trying to keep track of all our sponsors, Billy. Creek Bottom Barbecues and Burgers, fresh smashed onion burgers, hand-cut fries, slow-smoked brisket, pulled pork and ribs. Call them at 405-387-9416, our countdown to kickoff sponsor, helping you get ready for every Newcastle Racers football game all season long here on the Oklahoma Sports Network. We'll step aside one more time. We come back, we'll have football for you. Newcastle and Duncan kickoff football. The other side of this break on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Like there was a time when you'd have to put a hole there and 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 there. But this is just the same basic hole, and then you pick the direction you want to go.
Just having a 3-mile lateral, I think you're eliminating something like 60 wells that you'd have to put in.
That's a great leap forward.
You're able to tap the reservoir, and you have less of a footprint.
It never fails to blow me away.
Stuck inside for Wi-Fi? Not this summer. With Pioneer Fiber, get backyard Wi-Fi up to 950 feet from your home. So you can binge, game, Zoom, or work straight from your hammock. Add it for just $9.95 a month or get it free with a gig bundle. That's cheaper than your cold brew fix. Visit a Pioneer store or gopioneer.com and level up your summer.
At CFD, our mission is to deliver quality dentistry by providing big practice benefits with a little practice feel. Since 2008, we've updated our look, technology, and have added new smiles to our tenured staff to better care for you right here at home. Convenience for you is one of our biggest goals, and we often provide same-day treatment to minimize your time off work. We are open Monday through Friday to serve you. Visit cfdok.com for details. We look forward to seeing you at our big little practice.
All right, back here in Duncan, Josh Calloway, Billy Collier with you. Uriah Martinez on the camera, ready to go. Newcastle and Duncan ready to get this one started. Racers will start on offense first. They actually lined up the wrong way. Their officials are having them flip sides of the field as we speak. And they'll be getting ready to start this ball game out on offense. Opening kick sponsor presented by First United Bank. First United Bank, with over 80 locations across Oklahoma and Texas, is a family bank in every sense of the word. Family owned and operated, built on family values and treating you like family. Spend life wisely. Member FDIC. We are just moments away from getting this thing started. Appreciate everyone being tuned in on a Friday night, the final Friday of September.
Wow.
Season's kind of zipping by, Billy. It always does. But we got a lot of big games to go, and obviously we hope a long postseason run for the Racers coming up throughout the rest of October and into November, and who knows, maybe even December when we get there later on this year. But it all starts here tonight, the start of district play, as the Racers get ready to take on the Duncan Demons. Santorio Boykins back to return the kick for Newcastle. Also back Caden Longman, Ben Rogers as well. I think I see Alex Schumar, 13, also back to start this game for the Racers on offense in the all-white unis today with the black and blue helmets. Duncan in the home red helmet, white pants, and we're underway. A short kick to get this thing started. It'll be fair caught at about the 34-yard line or so by Karen Horton, and that's where the Racers will set up on offense with quarterback Blake Cresswell.
Well, and that was I think we're going to see that all year. There's those short little pooch.
It seems
kickoffs.
like teams are not really a fan of letting Newcastle return.
No.
The last. I mean, they have a lot of playmakers back there. We know Caden Longman's a electrifying returner,
Right.
certainly Ben Rogers and some of these other guys. But, yeah, I'm with you. It seems to be a trend.
Well, and they're even getting some of their, Alex Schumard and Rogers up there.
So here we go. First offensive play of the day for the Racers. Cresswell, the quarterback. T.J. Bradford, the running back. 4 wide with Ben Rogers going in motion behind. It'll be a fake the handoff. Cresswell will keep it himself. A little QB run game. Cresswell across the 40 and down to the 41-yard line. 42, actually, they were going to give him. So typically those are the type of plays we see reserved for Caden Longman. They went Blake Cresswell on the ground there on first down.
Well, we were talking about it in the break. Are they going to pass or run first? I don't think either one of us saw that coming. So that was a pretty impressive run.
Good start on first down. A 9-yard pickup sets up a second down and short for the Racers. Bit of a high snap. He'll go to Bradford on the ground here. He'll run through the line and push his way forward for a first down, move the chains. And the Racers off and running here early, 1st and 10.
And I think you're going to see a lot of that. You saw their defense kind of coming into to blitz. I think they were expecting more of a pass. I think you're going to see a lot from Bradford just right up the middle. Eventually he's going to cut one and go.
So it'll be first down for the Racers here on a couple of run plays, one from the quarterback Cresswell and one from the star running back of the squad, T.J. Bradford. 1st and 10 up at the 44-yard line. Handoff here to Rogers, breaks through the line, breaking tackles, continuing to keep the legs churning. We know that if anything you can say about Ben Rogers is that he runs hard, and he goes for about 5 yards there on first down.
He does. He runs real aggressive. He almost welcomes getting hit. So he's running around there, good bouncing off of people. Much like we saw last week with Meyer, you're not going to take Rogers down on the first hit.
Give him 5 yards there on first down. Sets up a 2nd and 5 on the 49-yard line. First possession, 3 runs so far, keeping it all on the ground. Longman in motion. Cresswell will throw it out in the flat to him. Longman makes one guy miss across the 50, cut back inside the 45. That's going to be another first down. Racers on the move here on their first possession of the night.
And it's good to see. Didn't see Longman a whole lot last week. Coming off some little bit of dings, I guess is a good way to put it. So it's good to see him getting in there and running and getting hit and jumping back up.
So Newcastle, another first down. They moved the chains twice here on this first possession of the day. They're up to the 41-yard line of Duncan. And that'll help out. A penalty here that will go against the Demons and result in a free 5 yards for the Racers.
Excellent timing on that, too. They're getting a little fed up getting beat on these runs and things like that. So they're ready to get in there and cut off those holes and just caught them a little overeager.
So 1st and 5 after the penalty on the hard count. Sets Newcastle up at the 36-yard line. Cresswell faked the handoff to Bradford, firing a slant right to Longman. He's got speed. Caden Longman, shoestring tackle, but he's down into the Trinity Restoration red zone. Newcastle is on the move.
Great job, great cut right there. Caden Longman runs an incredible route. He's the backup quarterback, but he'd rather enjoy being a receiver.
So 1st and 10 at the 19. Newcastle into the Trinity Restoration red zone for the first time tonight. Handoff to Bradford, bounce around the right side, and Duncan read that one all the way, blowing that one up for a loss. And it'll be a 2nd down and long coming up here. A couple of Demons crashing in. I think it ended up being Jason Kortemeyer who ended up making the actual tackle, number 1.
Yeah, number 23, Cord Brown. He's one that got the offsides a little bit earlier, playing real aggressive down there on the line. He was the first one in there to stop him.
So a loss of a few there sets up a 2nd and long. First time Newcastle has gone backwards on this possession. Cresswell will roll out to his left here on 2nd down and put it in the air. Fires far side pass, caught Longman at the 16, and he's knocked out of bounds there. So it'll be 3rd down, but a more manageable one. Call it a 3rd and about 6 or 7.
Yeah.
Probably 4 down territory in here, although we know Medrano has the leg. Might depend on what happens here on 3rd down.
Well, I think they've done a real good job. This is usually the area where you have like a holding or something that takes them backwards, and it's good to see they keep going forward.
Don't jinx it.
Nah,
Don't jinx it, Billy.
I thought about that as I said it.
Third down for the Racers. Brad for the running back next to Cresswell. He'll fake it, fire on the flat. Longman, get him some space. Schumart will block for him. Longman pushing forward toward the 10. That's going to be really, really close to that marker. Might be just a tick short. We'll see. It's going to come down to a spot. He's right at the marker. I think they're calling him short by just a hair. And we'll see what the Racers want to do here on fourth down. It looks like they might be going for it.
Yeah, I would definitely.
Maybe not. Cresswell's coming off. Unless they're going to do a QB run game here, which they might.
Well, it looks like they're bringing in the big guys. And so it looks like they may just go right behind. Look at all those
Actually,
big
scratch
guys.
that. They end up giving him the first down. Although, I don't know. They're lined up like they think it's fourth down. Bad snap. It's in the air. Ben Rogers catches it, and he scores! Touchdown, Newcastle! That worked out well for the Racers. Ben Rogers, 9-yard touchdown. I'll tell you what, Newcastle was lined up like they thought it was fourth down, but the sticks said first down. That was an odd play. Either way, touchdown Newcastle.
Great touchdown. Great job of jumping up and bringing it back down. And I think you're right. I think they thought it was fourth and inches, but it turns out that it was first, and then they got it and ran. I hate they got a flag on the celebration, I think.
I'm pretty sure you are correct. That was quite a play there. The high snap, a heck of an effort by Rogers to catch that and pull it down just to avoid a turnover. Then he ends up turning it into a touchdown.
Yeah, that was definitely one of those ones that just kind of looked like hot-oh and then turned into oh yeah. so that was a good one here. They're telling it right there. You're going to take it on the kickoff. So it'll be done then. See Medrano getting here, get ready to set up and do the kick. He's been great this year.
So an extra point on the way after the 9-yard touchdown run from Ben Rogers. Medrano boots it through, and it's a good start for Newcastle to go right down the field and score on their first drive of the day. 8:43 to go in the first. Newcastle leads it over Duncan 7-0. You're watching high school football on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Back in Duncan, Josh Calloway, Billy Collier on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Quite a start to this one as the Racers lead at 7-0. They go right down the field and score on their first drive of the day. A Ben Rogers 9-yard touchdown run on a direct snap that was almost a disaster, almost went over his head, but he made a great play just to catch the snap and then ended up scoring on it. Did get a penalty on the celebration, did Newcastle there, so they're going to have to kick this thing from their own 25. If anyone has the leg to overcome that,
right,
it would be Brian Medrano, though.
Yeah, there's a big call right here. Kick it 75 yards. And then you look back there, you got Sawyer Rice ready to run it back. You got
the quarterback back returning kicks. You don't see that very often.
C.J. Warner and Boston White. Boston White, somebody we talked about as well.
Kick is away. It'll be coming in and fielded just in front of the 30-yard line. Going to the far side and cutting back and getting out near midfield there is C.J. Warner. So some really good field position coming up for Duncan all the way out near midfield. Want to make sure we thank our first quarter sponsor tonight, which is HMS Heating, Air, and Plumbing. Hey, don't stress. Call HMS, a 40-plus years experienced company focused on HVAC and plumbing needs in Newcastle and the areas. Roger, Karen, and Chris would love to take care of your air and plumbing needs. Look HMS up at hmscomfort.com or give them a call at 405-392-5413. HMS Heating, Air, and Plumbing. So first and 10 for Duncan on their own 49. Great field position for Sawyer Rice and this Demons offense. Rice on the ground first play, breaks one tackle, cuts back again, carrying defenders out near the first down marker. And we mentioned in the pregame, Sawyer Rice likes to use his legs, and you saw right out of the gates there, Billy, a big run on first down.
Yes, and that was an excellent fake. He put the ball in there and then pulled it out the last second. And a good, strong run by him. That's something you can't let happen too often.
They did give him the first down there, so move the chains for Duncan. Rice will now look to throw on this one. No, he won't. Take off and run again. Cuts back, takes a big hit in the middle of the field. Laying the boom there was Karen Horton, number 25. Still no Preston Scagnetti for this Racers defense. We talk all the time, Billy, what a huge piece he is. Still on the shelf for now. Hopefully he can make a return at some point this year because he's a huge part of this Racer defense.
Yes. A big one. And Kieran Horton's doing a good job. Another person you'll see in there is number 15, coming in, trying to kind of replace some of those people in there at linebacker.
So we have a stoppage here. Duncan making a late sub. I don't know if this was an official making them sub here. Or this was an odd sequence, and they're having them roll the clock. I don't know what happened here, so now we're going to get back to it. That was a strange sequence, as Rice is not in there at quarterback anymore. This is number 4, Boston White, who we talk about, the great receiver, defensive back. He took the direct snap, and he'll run. He gets crunched down just past the 35. Well, that was an awkward-looking hit on White. Looks like he's up and back at it, though.
Yeah, I was looking, Sawyer Rice down here on the sideline. They were looking kind of down at his knee or something, maybe had some blood on his jersey and had to get that off. So they had to come out for a play.
Be third down coming up. They do get Rice back in there now. Called a third down and about 3 here for Duncan. Got to get to about the 31-yard line. Set up on the Racers 34. Demons trying to quickly respond if Newcastle went right down the field to start this game and grab an early lead. Ooh, might have been a false start there. And it looks like that's exactly the case.
Yeah, and I apologize. My ums and uhs. You know, when I see something, I know I'm not supposed to call it from up here.
Yeah, you're good.
That was an moment.
So that's a big penalty because that takes it from a 3rd and call it 3 to a 3rd and closer to 8. Here for the Demons on their first drive. Back to the 39-yard line. Rice in the shotgun. He'll drop back to pass. Pressure coming right up the middle. Lots of Racers crashing in, and it's picked off. Bad pass read all the way and intercepted by the Racers. That's Tucker Brown. Interception for Newcastle going back the other way.
That was a great catch. He was standing right there in his area. You see him kind of down there on the field still. But that was a great interception right there, taking it back to the 40.
So the interception by Brown. He's now actually down on the field at the end of that play as he got crunched after making the interception. So a great play by Brown, but he's feeling the after effects of it. They'll check on him. We'll go ahead and step aside from it while they attend to Brown. It'll be Racers football going back the other way. 6:58 to play in the first. You're watching high school football on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
Back in Duncan, Josh Calloway, Billy Collier. Tucker Brown able to run off the field under his own power. Good to see there after he makes a great play, an interception to get the football back for Newcastle on their own 40-yard line, already leading by a touchdown, trying to add to it. Here's Bradford on the ground, first down, run, breaking tackles, T.J. Bradford, he slows down the right side. Bradford, one stiff arm, spun down and wrapped out of bounds at the 25. I think they might get a face mask on top of this. A huge run for T.J. Bradford.
That was a great run right there, great cut. I've got to say, number 8, Longman, receiver out there at the top of your screen, he took his block and pancaked him way out there about 15, 20 yards past the line of scrimmage. And so I have to give him his kudos for that.
Something we're kind of, I think, seeing the early part of this season is that these wide receivers can block. We talked about that a lot last week, what Schumard was doing outside. Obviously throwing Longman here tonight. These guys can get out there and block a little bit. And the Racers are right back in the red zone. So just 2 plays from when it looked like Duncan had something cooking. They turned over, and a big run from Bradford, and now Newcastle's back in the Trinity Restoration red zone again. 1st and 10 at the 12-yard line. Longman in the slot. He'll go in motion here. Now back it back out. Cresswell, fake the handoff, throw it out to him. Pass caught, make one man miss, but he's able to slow him down enough to kind of blow up that play, as it'll be a loss of some yardage there. Back in the Trinity Restoration red zone for the second time tonight. Trinity Restoration and Construction has been providing quality construction services for over 20 years. Their team has completed a wide variety of projects, including commercial buildings, residential homes, and industrial facilities. Pride themselves on attention to detail and commitment to customer satisfaction. You can call them at 405-695-7040. So a loss of 2 there, Billy. Sets up a 2nd and 12.
Well, and I think it's time to stop going to that side thing for a little bit.
Cresswell will throw here. He's got a man wide open in the corner of the end zone. It's Longman, and he overshot him. Boy, nobody within 5-6 yards of Caden Longman, and Cresswell just a little too much air under that, and he missed him.
I think it surprised him how open he was, and he could have come with a you heard me call the tap and then the hit. He could have come with a hit pass on that one and just thrown it right to him, but it was one of those ones he tried to put it just right into the basket.
Yeah, Cresswell will want that one back.
Absolutely.
For sure. Longman, an easy touchdown there if he can just put it on him. But too much on it, incomplete. And that'll be 3rd and long for the Racers. They can get a first down here at about the 2-yard line. Cresswell in the shotgun, 5 wide set. He'll drop it off to Boykins. Centurio Boykins makes one guy miss trying to get around that corner. Trucking his way forward down near the 5. It'll be 4th down, but potentially a decision here coming for Coach Brickman and the Racers. We'll see if they take the free 3 or if they want to roll the dice and go for it.
Well, I see Medrano still over there kicking into the net. I haven't seen him come to the line
I think
yet.
They're going for it.
It looks like they're probably going for it.
Longman comes racing on. Cresswell will come off. So that would certainly lend you to think that Caden Longman will be acting as the quarterback here on 4th down. They got a ball spotted right at the 5. They got to get to about the 2. Big 4th down, a big spot for Duncan. The home crowd trying to will their guys here to get a big stop. 4th down and 3 at the 5. Caden Longman fake the handoff. He'll run it himself up the middle, plowing his way toward the goal line. I think he's short of the end zone, but that'll be a first down at that spot, as it'll be 1st and goal Racers after the run from Caden Longman.
And you really got to enjoy that. He gets down low enough that the defense can't see him, can't find him, and just works his way through the line there and got it all the way down. I thought he got in, but got it down there to the half.
He's inside the 1.
Right.
And it'll be 1st and goal right there. So Newcastle knocking on the door here of a quick 2-score lead here on the road on the opening night of district play. Can't ask for a much better start than what Newcastle has done here tonight. Got to finish off this drive, though. Longman staying in at quarterback. Ben Rogers will come in at running back, alleviating Bradford on 1st and goal here inside the 1. Longman will fake the handoff, take it himself, and he'll walk into the end zone. Touchdown, Newcastle. Caden Longman takes it home. Newcastle leads it by 2 scores.
And when you see Longman in there, you know that you have to watch him on the run. Then you have Rogers in there, who's fast and powerful runner as well. So when they're both doing that, both going that hard, it just adds one more person that you got to try and figure out. So Brian Medrano is lining up here for the point after.
Spot down, kick is up and through for Medrano, and Newcastle so far so good. With 5:27 to play until halftime, they have a 14-0 lead over Duncan here on the road. We'll step aside. Racer defense back on the field after this break on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Like there was a time when you'd have to put a hole there and 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 there. But this is just the same basic hole, and then you pick the direction you want to go.
Just having a 3-mile lateral, I think you're eliminating something like 60 wells that you'd have to put in.
That's a great leap forward.
You're able to tap the reservoir, and you have less of a footprint.
It never fails to blow me away.
Back in Duncan, Josh Calloway, Billy Collier on the Oklahoma Sports Network. A great start for the Racers. They lead at 14-0 over Duncan here on the road. 5:27 to play in the opening quarter. 2 drives, 2 scores for the Racers. A Tucker Brown interception, cutting down the only Duncan possession of the night so far. And they'll be looking for more of the same here on the second possession of the day.
Well, they're playing hungry. You got to like that
Yeah.
on defense, playing real hungry, wanting to get to the quarterback. That's actually what caused the interception.
Madrano will do the honors on the kickoff as a fast start for the black and blue here down south in Duncan. Madrano, a kind of pooch kick here. We fielded inside the 20 and wrapped up immediately. There is a penalty flag down. On the return there was C.J. Warner. A couple of Racers crashing down on him immediately, but there is a flag down.
Yeah, I'm afraid that Rogers may have gotten a little bit of the face mask as he ran through. So
we'll wait for the call. I want to make sure we thank our instant replay sponsor tonight. We already used them once. Eric Ledoux, State Farm. Their dedicated team is committed to helping you find the perfect insurance coverage for your unique needs. Whether it's auto, home, or life insurance, we're here to provide personalized quotes and guidance so you can navigate life's roads with confidence. Call for a free quote today, 405-392-3992. Eric Ledoux, State Farm. So it was a face mask on the Racers there, as Billy correctly called from the booth up here in Halliburton Stadium.
With old man eyes.
So Duncan gets some benefit there on the field position. They're out to the 30-yard line, and they'll start this possession there. Handoff here on first down goes nowhere. Wrapped up immediately is the running back Tavion Holland, who we highlighted pregame, one of the big weapons for this Duncan offense, maybe the big weapon on this Duncan offense. Didn't go anywhere there, though.
Well, and you got to give that one to the defensive line. They just threw all their guys right in the way.
2nd and 10 after the first down run gets back to the line of scrimmage. Rice calling out some direction here to his fellow offensive teammates. Rice will take the shotgun snap, hand off Holland. He got some room here, tripped up, but not before he's able to stumble his way forward all the way up to the 42-yard line for a first down.
That was good. That was a speed. I didn't really expect that kind of speed flying out of there.
Yeah, it was a nice burst there.
Good burst. So, and that's one of the things I think they're going to try and do now is they're going to spread you out with the 3 receivers, and that way they could run or throw.
And if not for that shoestring tackle, that might have been a touchdown right there for Holland. But as it is, Duncan will settle for a first down up to the 42. Back on the ground to Holland again. Bouncing to his left. There's Tucker Brown right back in the game, and he blows that one up for a loss of yardage. A number of other racers also in the mix there. Cody Nix, 71, also helping create the negative play.
At this point of the game, you've got the defensive line is winning the line of scrimmage, and I think that's what's really hurting Holland as well as Rice.
Call it a loss of about 1 or 2 there. Sets up a 2nd and long. They'll go play action this time. Rice pump faking. He'll try and fire down the far side. Picked off again! It's Caden Longman this time as the Racers have their 2nd turnover of the night. Tackled down on just their side of the 50. Newcastle with 2 turnovers on 2 possessions defensively.
And you see it right there. The moment you get to Sawyer Rice and get him running around and really out of the pocket, he loses some of that control, and that's where the 2 interceptions have come from.
So Caden Longman joins Tucker Brown on the interception party tonight. A look at that on the Eric Ledoux State Farm instant replay. And, Bill, you got to like this if you're the Racer defense because Duncan right now, you know they want to try and run the ball a little bit with Holland. They haven't really been able to do that, putting them in obvious passing situations, and they've now feasted on 2 Sawyer Rice interceptions.
Well, they're definitely doing what they want to do out there. Newcastle's kind of running their offense and defense.
So Newcastle in command here early. 3:45 to go in the first. They have a 14-0 lead and are looking for more. Cresswell takes the shotgun snap. He'll roll out to his right. Was going to try and dump it to Ben Rogers. Still tried to, but just wasn't really there. It'll fall incomplete. That was well read by the Duncan defense that time.
They were right there on top of it. They saw what was coming. And it was smart of Cresswell to throw it low. It looked like Rogers tried to catch it, may have popped it up a little bit, but to throw it low where no one else could get it.
So incomplete pass makes it 2nd and 10. Coming up for the Racers offense, which has had 2 drives so far and 2 touchdowns. Been really the ground game so far for Newcastle. Both scores have come in the rush column so far. Ben Rogers, 9-yarder to start, and then Caden Longman plunging it in from the 1. They'll throw it in the flat this time. Pass caught on the far side, and getting across midfield is Corbin Brewer, the sophomore wideout, getting into the catch column there.
And he's been doing a real good job on JV nights, doing good receiving and running, a good, strong runner there. So I look forward to seeing him at this level more often.
Gets across midfield to the 49 of the Demons. Got to get to about the 43, so a manageable third down, but a bit of a longer one here. See how they want to attack it. Bradford, the running back, next to Cresswell. Cresswell drops back to pass. He'll fire deep. He's looking for Schumar here on the far sideline. He caught it. Drop it in the bucket. Blake Cresswell. Schumar the toe tap, and a big play for the Racers.
That was a beautiful throw. Just an excellent throw. What I liked about that throw is he threw it where he was going, not where he was, and it gave him a chance, Schumar, a chance to get under it and catch it right before going out of bounds.
That was a tremendous throw by Blake Cresswell. That might be the best throw I've seen him make this year. That was really, really nice, and Schumar did a good job sticking with it, just by having to kind of twist and turn there and keep the feet in. 1st and 10 at the 24 of Duncan. Racers looking for more. Play action. Going deep. Looking for Boykins in the corner of the end zone. Oh, boy. He just kind of ran out of space there. That throw like it hit Boykins right in the noggin. But even if he did catch it, I think he might have been out of bounds. It just kind of ran out of room.
Yeah, I did. It hit him right in the hands, but he was just at the edge of that wide out of bounds spot there. So really kind of surprised they haven't gone back to the run too much.
No, they're throwing it around on this possession.
Yeah.
Which is kind of working out just fine so far.
Out great.
So, yeah. 2nd and 10, here at the 24-yard line. 3 wide set with Brad for the running back. Fake the handoff, throw far side looking for Longman. Oh, what a catch. Managed to get down, and he's going to get a first down back into the red zone again.
It looked like the two guys for the Duncan there, when he jumped up and caught it, they were a little surprised he caught it. Everybody just kind of looked at each other. Then they came in and tackled him. So that was –
You're right. It seemed like Duncan got caught kind of watching the play there, thinking that was going to be overthrown, and then it was like, oh, shoot, he's got the football, and getting a first down out of it. So we have a timeout here on the field. I don't know, did someone take one? This is where it gets tough not being able to hear the
right.
field. I think we must have a timeout on the field. 2:43 to go. Someone took a timeout. We'll take it with them. Racers lead at 14-0 late here in the first on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Stuck inside for Wi-Fi? Not this summer. With Pioneer Fiber, get backyard Wi-Fi up to 950 feet from your home. So you can binge, game, Zoom, or work straight from your hammock. Add it for just $9.95 a month or get it free with a gig bundle. That's cheaper than your cold brew fix. Visit a Pioneer store or gopioneer.com and level up your summer.
Back here in Duncan, Josh Calloway, Billy Collier in the Oklahoma Sports Network. That was Duncan who took that timeout, by the way.
I think it was a good timeout to take. It seems like they're struggling to stop the Racers very much.
So 1st and 10 at the 11 is where they have this mark. So Newcastle technically can get a first down. Bradford on the ground here going to the right side and just nowhere really to go as the Demons able to clog up the running lane there, and you actually end up losing a yard or two.
And you have to give it to Bradford right there. You've got to keep them honest. If you just throw it, then they'll hang back and be in coverage. Run it a few times. Try and get up the middle. Get it around the side. It makes those linebackers especially have to wonder if it's a pass or a run. So that's a good call and way to keep them honest.
2:15 and counting to go here in the first. They do mark that as a 2-yard loss. Sets up 2nd down and 12. Cresswell faked the handoff. He'll throw this time. Over the middle looking for Schumar. Incomplete. Just a little too far out in front of him, and it'll fall harmlessly to the red turf in the Duncan end zone. Sets up a 3rd and long.
And that was excellent coverage right there. I believe it was number 11, Jackson Wisdom. Excellent coverage right there. It would have had to be a perfectly thrown ball to get it in there.
And a good throw by Cresswell from the perspective of it wasn't – if you're going to miss there, you want to miss in front of him to where it can't be caught by anyone else. But as it stands, it does set up a 3rd and long here for the Racers. We'll see how they approach this, if they want to just try and get some of it back to go for a 4th down, if they want to go for the whole thing right here. Cresswell will drop it off to Longman on a little mid-screen play. Big stiff arm, going far side, still breaking tackles, but he is eventually slung down inside the 10. And that'll bring up a 4th down for the Racers, and we'll see if they want to kick it here. I think they will for the first time tonight.
Well, that was a good call as well. It was the first time we'd seen had 5 receivers.
Yeah,
and of course,
don't see that very often.
You realize that 3 of them are blocking, and as long as the tight end blocking coming up the middle. So that was the first time we'd seen that this year.
So they will try a field goal attempt here. It's about a 28-yarder for Brian Madrano, who certainly has more than enough leg on this chip shot. Spot down, kick is away, and it is through. So Brian Madrano makes his first field goal attempt of the night. 3 drives, 3 scoring possessions for Newcastle so far with 1:19 to go in the first. Newcastle leads over Duncan 17-0. You're watching high school football on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
You can look up at our screen right here. That's our lifeblood. That's how we know what's going on at 14,700 foot.
Because you're completely blind otherwise.
That's correct.
People don't really understand the level of tech that's going on.
Yes, sir. Well, this whole thing is extremely high tech. I mean, just the ability to be able to drill down 13,000 feet and then put 90-degree turn in the well and then drill out another 3 miles.
It doesn't matter how casually you say it. It's a freaking miracle, man.
Yes, sir.
Back in Duncan, Josh Calloway, Billy Collier on the Oklahoma Sports Network. All Racers so far in this one, 17-0 Newcastle leading Duncan here on the road with 1:19 to go in the first quarter. Madrano set to boot it away for Newcastle. This Racers defense so far with 2 turnovers here in the opening quarter on a pair of interceptions, one by Tucker Brown and one by Caden Longman. Kickoff goes into the end zone. Billy, can't ask for much more in this first quarter so far. You've had 3 drives that have ended in points, and you forced 2 turnovers defensively.
Yes, they're definitely in the captain's seat right now. I mean,
yeah.
It's really difficult to see Duncan haven't stopped them in any way at all. They've had defense come up with 2 interceptions on both the series that Duncan's had, scored on all of them. I guess you got to consider it a minor victory for them just to have a field goal instead of another touchdown. But it's still a long game to go, but it's looking good so far.
So Duncan will set up on offense on their own 20-yard line. They've moved the ball somewhat okay both drives, but turnovers have derailed both of them on 2 interceptions. We'll see what happens here on their 3rd crack at it. First play is a handoff that goes absolutely nowhere, blown up in the backfield as Jason Kortemeyer with a little kind of mini jet sweep there went nowhere.
Well, and they're looking like they're trying to establish a run. I'm not sure how well it's going to do because Newcastle is controlling the line of scrimmage.
In the final minute here of the first quarter, call that a loss of 2, sets up a 2nd and 12 for the Demons. Fake the handoff. Rice will run it himself to the left side. He's got some room. And up the sideline, Sawyer Rice is loose. Sawyer Rice is going to go the distance here. A 82-yard touchdown run for the Duncan quarterback, and the Demons are right back in it.
Excellent call right there. Faking it. He had 3 running backs back there. Fake it to one of them and then take it around the opposite side. Just a great job. Great blocking on the line. What I saw to 2 guys on the left side, the guard and tackle, they kind of anchored them in so they couldn't get around there. So great call and a great run there by Smith.
Well, I'll tell you what, when you're trailing 17-0 at home, an 82-yard touchdown run from your quarterback is something that you'll sign up for any day of the week right there. So Duncan right back in it on an 82-yard touchdown run by Sawyer Rice, the quarterback. And it's now 17-7, just like that. The extra point is booted through. We'll stick here with 38 seconds to play until halftime. Boy, that's a game changer right there, Billy. I mean, it was all Newcastle completely dominating the game to that point, but one huge lightning strike play, and all of a sudden it feels like Duncan's got some momentum now.
Right, and that was one where you had almost every Racer defender going left, going to the lower side of your screen, and then you saw Smith just take it right down the backside. Sawyer Rice. I don't know why I keep saying Smith. You saw Rice take it right down the top part of your screen. that's not what they need to get back into this game. They need to stay on task and realize the game is 48 minutes long.
So a big-time play for Sawyer Rice. We talked about his ability to use his legs in the pregame show, and that's really been probably Duncan's best offense so far has been the QB run game, and that worked out quite well there. An 82-yard touchdown run around that left side. And you saw once he got around that corner, he had some serious wheels as he bursted that thing and just ran away from the Racer defense for a long touchdown. And Duncan now feels like maybe has a little bit of life. We'll see what they can do here on the defensive side of things. Still down by 10 points.
Well, this would be a good time, a run back right here, get it well down in there, got to take that momentum right back.
Centurio Boykin's the furthest man back, although, as we kind of noted earlier, haven't been a lot of kickoffs getting that far back against the Racers, but this one won't quite. It'll be fielded by Longman just inside the 20. He's got some room. Caden Longman, big hit around midfield, but a nice return. There is a flag down at about the 40-yard line on the Duncan sideline. So we'll see what that flag is for.
Yeah, usually not good news for
the return team, yeah.
Yes. That was a hard hit. It was the kicker that came up and hit him shoulder to shoulder.
And it is going to be a hold on the Racers that will wipe out at least a good chunk of that return there. So Newcastle will set up on offense so far. What have you liked about the Racers' offense so far? I mean, 3 drives, 3 scores, been running the ball very well, and they got the pass game going a little bit in that last drive.
I like how they're mixing it up. I'd like to see, it almost feels like one series was almost all rushes. Another series was almost all passes. I would like to see them mix it up within the series.
Yeah.
I think that would help them a lot as well. But I'm watching the O-line. The O-line is holding its own. They're having to bring in 5 or 6 guys to get to the running back and quarterback.
So the penalty will back Newcastle up to their own 30. That's where they'll start this drive. A 3-wide set with Bradford, the running back, next to Cresswell. Throws on the flat, Shumore, and he got hit right away. That's actually Brewer, number 12. Who the second he caught the ball took a lick, did a good job just to hang on to it. But it is going to be a big loss on first down. A nice play by the Duncan defense there.
And that's a huge loss right there. It looks like a loss of 6 right there. And that just takes too much time. I believe that guy came running from the back, the free safety.
Shredded all the way. That should be the final play of the quarter, it would seem, and it will be. As that brings us to the end of the first quarter. Good start for Newcastle, but Duncan, the one who takes a little bit of momentum with them into the end of the quarter. After one, it's Newcastle 17, Duncan 7. You're watching high school football right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
Like there was a time when you'd have to put a hole there and 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 there. But this is just the same basic hole, and then you pick the direction you want to go.
Just having a 3-mile lateral, I think you're eliminating something like 60 wells that you'd have to put in.
That's a great leap forward.
You're able to tap the reservoir, and you have less of a footprint.
It never fails to blow me away.
Ready. Back in Duncan, Josh Calloway, Billy Collier on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Second down and long here coming up for the Racers after the first down play was blown up. Cresswell will keep it himself here. And he's wrangled down after a short pickup, sets up a third down and long.
Yeah, he kind of got pinballed right there. He saw the linebacker going after Rogers, and so he held the ball and just tried to run up forward as far as he could.
So third and long coming up for Newcastle. First 3 drives today have all ended in points, 2 touchdowns and a field goal. But if they're going to do that again here, they're going to need to find a way to pick up this long third down. 3rd and 11 officially.
Well, this is where he does real good, putting the pass right in the bucket, and that may be what he needs to do.
3rd and 11. Cresswell takes the shotgun snap. He'll roll out to his left. now has a backtrack. They have a flag down here in the backfield. He'll fire near side to Boykins, who I think scooped that off the turf. He did. It'll be 4th and long as it stands, but we'll see what the penalty is.
Well, it's back there in Holdville.
Holdville, yes.
And usually when you see the quarterback change directions, you're going to see a hold on the offense.
God, I think Duncan might probably decline this. If the play holds up, you're looking at a 4th down and about 8 or so. So I got to think that they'll decline it and live with that. Looks like that's exactly what the Duncan coaching staff is opting for. It is a hold on the Racers, and just as predicted, they will decline and set up a 4th down, and Newcastle will have to pump for the first time tonight.
Wow. You're just sensing some momentum shifting here. And they're going to have to take that momentum back.
It was all Newcastle. If you just tuned in, it was all Newcastle. 17-0 out of the gate. And then the Duncan quarterback, Sawyer Rice, breaks an 82-yard touchdown run. And now you follow that up with the Demons getting their first stop of the night. And all of a sudden, like you said, the momentum kind of shifting here at Halliburton Stadium. Still a whole long way to go, early part of the second quarter. Medrano, and now a bad punt here from Brian Medrano. That goes out of bounds, and Duncan's going to set up. They're going to be in Newcastle territory to start this possession. Where the heck did this thing go out? The 43-yard line. Wow. So Duncan's going to have fabulous field position going back the other way now.
And you just feel the football gods shifting a little.
The way they can change, yeah.
So their defense is going to have to step up, play hard, and play very disciplined. That's why they scored that last time. Was just a little undisciplined.
So they'll set up on the 43-yard line, a great spot to start this drive, obviously, for the Demons. Down by 10 points, trying to get this back to a one-score game after it looked early like Newcastle might just run away and hide in this one. Demons with other ideas. First down run here to Holland, left side, and he's able to drag his way out near the 35. Good job cutting down on the run there was Quinn Housley, but not before Holland picked up 5-6 yards on first down.
Yeah, keep an eye on Housley. He's a big fella in there making those hits like that.
We've said his name a lot the last couple of weeks, it seems like.
Yes.
Second down and short. Actually ended up getting 7 on that, did Holland, so 2nd and 3 here. Handoff is faked. Rice will not flip it back out. Boy, kind of a wild design of a play, and it worked out well for the Demons as wrangled down inside the 30-yard line. On that is Jason Kortemeyer. They faked the handoff, and then Rice pitched it out. A lot of deception on that play design, but it worked out pretty good for the Demons.
Well, that's an excellent tackle out there. I believe it was Bradford that stayed out there, stayed in front of him, didn't go for anything, and just tackled him.
So it'll be 1st and 10 up at the 30-yard line. As Duncan on the move here, trying to get this down to a one-score game, just under 10 minutes to play until halftime. Rice in the shotgun. Holland, the running back next to him. He'll fake it to him, throw out. This is Kortemeyer again. He'll push his way forward near the 25-yard line. A good pickup on first down for Duncan.
And that was good pursuit right there. You see it now that Newcastle's kind of waiting before they pin their ears back and run, waiting to see which direction it's going. That's good, good discipline on their team and good tackling.
Second down and 5 here coming up for the Demons on the Racer 25-yard line. Rice went to throw the screen, but nothing was there. He'll take off and try to run with it. Bouncing outside, nice stiff arm, still bouncing around, still on his feet, and Sawyer Rice is going to score. There is a penalty flag down in the backfield. That was an absolutely outrageous run by the Duncan quarterback, Sawyer Rice. We'll see if it holds up. Duncan seems to think that it will.
Well, and that's really impressive. Impressive run. How he could just cut back through everybody and was strong enough to run through those arm tackles. I think this is going to be against the Racers. It looks like they may have got a hand high on the face mask. Of course, they will decline it.
Boy, that was an absolutely insane run by Sawyer Rice. He broke several tackles. That was a busted play, too. It looked like he was going to throw a screen, and it wasn't there, and he decided to tuck it and run instead and ended up scoring on that somehow. It was a face mask against Newcastle, like you said. And so the touchdown will hold up for Sawyer Rice, who has single-handedly kind of just willed Duncan back in this game. Extra point is up, and I didn't see a signal there. Did they call it good?
I don't think they
Might have
started
blown
the
it
play.
dead.
Yeah, they didn't start the play clock. You saw a referee back there behind the defense telling him to hold on, and he didn't, so that doesn't count. Do-over, take 2.
So we'll try it again. 17-13 as it stands. Extra point here on the way with 9:05 to play until halftime. Boy, this game has flipped completely. We're thinking we might be kicking back in the second half, Billy.
Yeah.
Be a runaway, but the Demons have fought back and are now within a field goal if the extra point goes through, which it does. And just like that, it's a 3-point game here at Halliburton Stadium. Well, we got a fun one here, Bruin folks. Newcastle leads at 17-14 over Duncan. 9:05 to play until halftime. We're watching high school football on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
At CFD, our mission is to deliver quality dentistry by providing big practice benefits with a little practice feel. Since 2008, we've updated our look, technology, and have added new smiles to our tenured staff to better care for you right here at home. Convenience for you is one of our biggest goals, and we often provide same-day treatment to minimize your time off work. We are open Monday through Friday to serve you. Visit cfdok.com for details. We look forward to seeing you at our big little practice.
All right, back here in Duncan, Josh Calloway, Billy Collier on the Oklahoma Sports Network. This game has flipped quite a bit. It was 17-0 Racers, seemingly well on their way to maybe a laugher, and Duncan has come back with 2 touchdown runs from their quarterback, Sawyer Rice, to suddenly be right back in this game at 17-14. Squib kick here is pulled in by Longman near the goal line. He'll bob and weave his way to about the 22, 21-yard line. So, Billy, this game has gotten very interesting all of a sudden, and Newcastle could really use a drive here.
Absolutely. They've got to get established drive right here. They need to take some time off the clock. Obviously, Duncan hasn't heard that Newcastle is going to win this game, so they're fighting back. So you're going to have to just keep them out there working on defense for a while and tire them out, and you're going to have to run your offense. And it looks like the coaches over there are giving them a pretty good heart-to-heart before they come out on the field.
So 8:59 to play until halftime. Newcastle will set up on their own 21. Make sure we thank our second quarter sponsor, by the way, which is Contemporary Family Dentistry. Number one goal, to deliver quality dentistry by providing big practice benefits with a little practice feel. Come in and experience the difference. 1117 Northwest 32nd Street. You can call them at 45387-9300. First down run here for T.J. Bradford. A hurdle, and he's still on his feet. T.J. Bradford down the sideline. Nobody's going to catch him. T.J. T.D. That's how you flip a football game. 79 yards to the house.
Wow, and no flags. That's the first thing I was looking for, to make sure there are no flags. I knew nobody was going to catch him. I mean, he was down that side, and they just called the perfect play. You had your 2 linebackers coming in on the blitz, and it gave him just enough space and just enough time to run right through them, and there was nobody behind them to stop them. So that is exactly what Newcastle needed, when Newcastle needed it, and hopefully we will see the momentum shift back.
My goodness, what a flip. This game has had some serious momentum swings, and a huge one there as T.J. Bradford goes 79 yards. Extra point is up and through, and just like that, the Racer lead is back to 10 at 24-14. 8:47 to go until halftime. I got to take a breath after that. We'll be right back. Racers back ahead by 10 on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
You can look up at our screen right here. That's our lifeblood. That's how we know what's going on at 14,700 foot.
Because you're completely blind otherwise.
That's correct.
People don't really understand the level of tech that's going on.
Yes, sir. Well, this whole thing is extremely high tech. I mean, just the ability to be able to drill down 13,000 feet and then put 90-degree turn in the well and then drill out another 3 miles.
It doesn't matter how casually you say it. It's a freaking miracle, man.
Yes, sir.
Back in Duncan, Oklahoma, Josh Calloway, Billy Collier. This game has been kind of wacky so far. Racers leading the Demons 24-14. A 79-yard touchdown run by T.J. Bradford puts the Racers back ahead by 10. Billy, Sawyer Rice for Duncan, quarterback, had an 82-yarder, and T.J. Bradford comes back with a 79-yarder.
It was nice of you to say kind of wacky.
Here's Rice on the return for the Demons back the other way. He's got some room to run. Sawyer Rice breaking tackles, and he's out near midfield. But for a quarterback, that guy, you do not want him to have the ball in open space. He is making things happen right now for the Demons.
I tell you what, I kind of wish I'd have seen him in the wishbone back in the days of OU in the 70s. You know, he just is a hard runner, and I don't know if you saw it right there. He made two racers completely miss him just by jukes and stop and goes.
So, Duncan will start on their own 46-yard line, a 10-point lead, 10-point lead for Newcastle here. Was still over the second quarter ago. We've had a lot of points so far, up and down the field. These two teams making big plays. And now Duncan will try and do their part again here in the early part of this second quarter. 1st and 10 on their own 46-yard line. Sawyer Rice handoff goes to Holland. He's dragged down from behind, but not until he gets across midfield for a good pickup on first down.
Yeah, he got the handoff and just ran as fast as he could. Fortunately, we had a defensive end that just got a hand on him and brought him down.
Like Fletcher, 41, along with 13, Alex Schumard kind of teaming up for the tackle there. But again, a nice pickup on first down for the Demons. Sets up a 2nd down and 5. 24-14 Newcastle, first Friday night of district play in the great state of Oklahoma. Been a hectic game so far and more to come. Man in motion there was Boston White. Rice will take it on the QB run. Going to the sideline, out of bounds near the 45. I think he might be a hair short of the first down marker, but not by much.
And why not? I mean, you got Sawyer Rice running. He's one running past black helmets.
Yeah.
So why not?
Yeah. Sawyer Rice and his ability to make plays with his legs has been Duncan's best offense tonight. That last touchdown run was a circus one of 25 yards. Flag down here right on the snap.
Oh.
And it looks like it's going against Newcastle. That's going to be a first down here. It was 3rd down and call it 1, maybe less than 1. But the penalty flag is going to move Duncan across the 40-yard line for a first down.
And you don't need to give them any yards.
No.
You don't need to give them anything.
1st and 10 at the 39 here for Duncan. Handoff goes to Holland. He pinballs his way forward inside the 35.
Well, he does. You just saw that red helmet going left, right, backwards, forwards. As everybody was hitting on him, he just kept the feet moving and took it forward for about 7.
Got to the 33-yard line, so a 6-yard pickup there on first down for Duncan, who has really found their offensive stride the last handful of drives here, in particular on the ground. I don't know if they've really completed even anything down the field in this game. It's been all on the ground. Here's Holland again to the right side, bobbing and weaving his way near the 30. A gang of racers able to corral him. Tucker Brown, number 7,
yeah, Harmon,
in there.
And Harmon Warmuth, he just grabbed him. Talk about the strength. Number 15 there, he grabbed him, and Tavion stopped. He did not get another yard forward.
So they mark him just short of the marker, so we're kind of right back where they were before the penalty a short while ago. 3rd and 1 here coming up for the Demons. Just under 7 minutes to play until halftime. Rice will bounce out to his right. Now he'll take off and run. He's got the first down and then some. Sawyer Rice down the left side near the sideline. Knocked out of bounds at about the 10 by Caden Longman. There is a flag down the field inside the 10. So we'll see what that marker is. But as it stands, it's another huge run for the Duncan quarterback, Sawyer Rice.
Well, and I don't know if he's part ghost or what, but he just runs right through the defense and the line like they can't grab him, and he is so fast. To be real honest with you, I'm glad this is the last game we play with against him.
Yeah, the senior Sawyer Rice is playing very well right now,
Yes.
especially on the ground. Looks like the penalty's on Duncan, but it was a block in the back down the field. So it's one of those. He's going to get the first down here, but they'll have to move it back off of where it was, which was down inside the 10. So they're back now to the 20-yard line, but it is going to be first down for Duncan at that spot.
I think they're going to need to get a spy, a fast spy.
First and 10 at the 20. Rice will hand it off to Holland. Left side, cutback move, running through some arm tackles, keeping the legs churning down near the 10-yard line and close to another first down. Duncan just finding that rushing attack right now and just chewing up yardage.
Well, look at all those linemen getting up for Duncan. So the line is leading him out there to the side, which is a great job and great calls by coaches. Weren't getting a whole lot up the middle, so now they're moving the line left and right and getting much more running space.
Midway point of the second quarter, 24-14, Newcastle leading Duncan, but the Demons on the move again here, trying to get some more points on the board and get it back to a one-score game. Rice will hand it off on the left side. He's got some room. It's going to be a first down and goal inside the 5. Tavion Holland.
Yeah, he's starting to get his feet. That was a great
is.
job by Longman right there, just powering him backwards. I think he felt he could run through a defensive back, but Caden Longman did a good job at taking him straight out of bounds.
So first and goal for the Demons with 5:44 to play until halftime. As Duncan just using that run game to get right down the field and a chance to get right back to a one-score game here if they can punch this in. Almost got a couple of racers to move early there. Had this marked at the 2-yard line, by the way. First and goal at that spot. Rice will take it himself, left side, and he's in. Touchdown, Sawyer Rice. Third rushing touchdown of the night for the Duncan quarterback. We're still in the first half.
Well, and he's just knifing through there and doing a good job. The line moving out is helping them a lot so that you don't have set blockers right there on the line. That's really helping them a lot. Some adjustments that Brickman is going to have to make to a moving line.
So the touchdown makes it now 24-20. Extra point coming up here on the way for the Duncan kicker, number 38, Isaac Salazar. As these two offenses just trading blows right now here in the first half of this one. Salazar's extra point is up and through, and it's now a one-score game again at 24-21 Newcastle, 5:40 to play until halftime. Stick with us. High school football rages on right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
At CFD, our mission is to deliver quality dentistry by providing big practice benefits with a little practice feel. Since 2008, we've updated our look, technology, and have added new smiles to our tenured staff to better care for you right here at home. Convenience for you is one of our biggest goals, and we often provide same-day treatment to minimize your time off work. We are open Monday through Friday to serve you. Visit cfdok.com for details. We look forward to seeing you at our big little practice.
All right, back here, ready to go, ready to kick it off.
So 24-21, your score, 5:40 to play until halftime in this pretty wild first quarter, or first half, I should say, Billy. The two teams are just trading blows. And it's now back to a one-score game again at 24-21. A pooch kick here will bounce down at the 30. And what happened here? We have a whistles are going to say a couple Duncan guys left early.
I think they got a little eager to get that little pooch down in there. They kicked it where nobody was at, and I think a couple of the runners thought get a little head start.
So they'll kick it again.
Looks like number 36, that Bryson Maddox, doing the kickoffs right there.
So they'll try it again. This time it'll go out of bounds at about the 25-yard line. So that'll be a penalty against Duncan.
Not a
and
real
the Racers will get the ball out.
Not a real clean way to start off after that, running that series and getting a touchdown.
So 5:40 to play until halftime. Racers lead at 24-21 over the Demons. Stick with us at halftime, by the way. Billy and I will obviously wrap up the first half here from Duncan. We'll step aside. The bands will perform. You're not going to be able to hear them, but you will be able to see them if you want. If you tuned in late, we're in a bit of a fishbowl here in Duncan. You can't hear anything here, which is creating some challenges. It's a little bit hard to kind of get a feel for the game when you can't really hear it that well, but we're pressing on.
Yeah, I feel like a drummer at the worship team. You know, you're just in your cage.
So Newcastle will start here on their own 35. Handoff, Bradford blown up in the backfield. Duncan read that all the way as numerous Demons got in there right away. The first one being Zion Butler, the senior defensive end, who just blew that one up.
Yeah, that's the first time that I've seen, I think it was Rogers that got tackled like that right there. You don't normally see him go down like that.
No. In the backfield, the second he got the ball, not really much he could do. So a loss there on first down sets up a 2nd and long for the Racers during the 5-minute mark to play until halftime here in Duncan. Lawman will go in motion to the far side. Cresswell will roll out that way. Cresswell going to fire deep, looking for Schumart, who got behind the defense. He caught it!
Nice.
What a catch by Schumart inside the 40. I don't know how that got through those Duncan defenders.
Boy.
They were in position, but the ball just found a way to slip through there somehow.
I didn't think it was going to get there. I thought the guy running up towards him was going to stop it and knock it down, and then he turned around and had the ball. So
another great throw by Cresswell. Some of his best in a Racer uniform have been here tonight in Duncan. That was a heck of a toss there. And he gets the Racers down the field onto the Duncan 40-yard line. Trying to get some points right back in this high-scoring affair here out at the home of the Demons. Going to throw it deep again. Cresswell looking deep, but miscommunication between him and Boykins as Boykins ran a stop at about the 20-yard line, and Cresswell threw it deep toward the pylon. So just miscommunication there.
Yeah, I like that they've come out passing. They saw they're being very aggressive against the run. If they get too aggressive, they can get the receivers right in behind the linebackers to get some pass plays going.
So incomplete pass makes it 2nd down and 10 here for Newcastle on the Duncan 40. 4:45 to play until halftime. Cresswell will hand it to Ben Rogers. He cuts back and got some room down the sideline. Ben Rogers tripped up down near the red zone, but another big run for the Racers, and they're on the move again on the outskirts of the Trinity Restoration red zone.
And you'll see that happen right after 2 pass plays. After he got it past them, got it over to the side, now that lightens them up on the underside. They take a run. Now let's see if they come back with the pass and catch the linebackers edging up towards the line.
1st and 10 at the 21-yard line of the Demons, as Newcastle and Duncan continuing to trade blows here in this first half. Longman, the quarterback here, gives it to Rogers, who will plow his way forward for a few, and they are back inside that Trinity Restoration red zone.
And I think they're just setting them up. They keep running it there, keep them going forward, keep them inching forward. You really got to mess with the minds of the linebackers because, you know, if you're on the defensive line, you know what you're covering. If you're defensive backs, you know what you're covering. It's the linebackers that have to decide do they go back or forward, and that's where Newcastle's keeping them wondering.
Longman in at quarterback still here again. He'll keep it himself, and he's wrapped up right away. That was Zion Butler again, number 15, who read that one well. He's wreaking havoc on that side of the football for Duncan right now, and it sets up a 3rd and long for the Racers. Cresswell will come back in at quarterback.
Well, it just seems like Zion there just has a nose for where the football's going to be.
Yeah, he just is reading the plays really well.
A few of those, I was wondering if he had a Newcastle playbook on a couple of them.
3:20 to play until halftime. 3rd and long here for Newcastle. Got to get to the 11-yard line. Cresswell will throw. He's going to fire far side. Got a man. It's Longman, the toe tap. He's in. 1st and goal, Newcastle at the 6.
That was a great catch and a great throw. Just got it there, and that's what I would love to see more throws like that from Cresswell. Not a lot of arch, not a lot of placing it in the bucket, but just on a rope right to him.
That was a very nice throw from Cresswell, like you said. It sets up a 1st and goal here for Newcastle at the 3-minute mark to play until halftime. Going to go to Ben Rogers on the ground here. Makes the first guy miss, but a gang of demons will corral him there for no gain.
Yeah, they brought him back just a little bit. You could see the linebackers were scooting forward towards the line, so you could see them coming back there.
Rogers a bit slow to get up here. He's going to come off under his own power, but he'll have to head to the sideline. TJ Bradford back in to replace him. Clock holds for the moment at 2:57, and now they'll wind it again as Rogers able to get himself off. 2nd and goal.
It'd be good to go in at halftime 10 up.
No doubt. But still plenty of time for Duncan going back the other way, even if they do score here. Cresswell will fake in, keeping himself. Blake Cresswell plowing his way forward. Touchdown, Newcastle. Blake Cresswell.
And that was just an excellent, smart play right there. He saw that they were coming in for the to tackle him, so he faked it to Bradford. Bradford became his head blocker. He just ran in behind Bradford and just kept going till he hit red.
So Blake Cresswell said, hey, Sawyer Rice has got 3 touchdown runs tonight. Why can't I go get some? He punches that in from 7 yards out, and the Newcastle Racers are an extra point away from restoring their lead to 10 again. Madrano's extra point.
Oh, they're not signaling.
Yeah, was there whistles there before the kick?
Said offsides on Duncan.
Offsides on Duncan. So are they going to have to kick it again? You shouldn't have to if he made it.
You think you could decline it.
You should be able to, but
guess not.
Nevertheless, they're going to move it to the 1 and kick it again.
Well, and I guess because it shuts down the play. It plays dead after that, I guess. That's how they look at it, but I don't like that either.
It's amazing. We've had 7 touchdowns in the first half tonight, all run plays in this game so far for both teams. Kind of amazing. A lot of ground and pound. You don't get a lot of ground and pound shootouts, but that's what we have right now. Extra point is through, and the Racer lead goes back to 10 with 2:55 to play until halftime. Stick with us. Racers leading Duncan 31-21. You're watching high school football on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Back in Duncan, Josh Calloway, Billy Collier on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Racers leading the Duncan Demons 31-21 with 2:55 to play until halftime in this wild ball game here at Halliburton Stadium. Been a lot of points, a lot of big plays, a lot of big runs. We mentioned it right before that last break if you weren't with us. 7 touchdowns tonight between these two teams. They're all on the ground so far. It's a shootout with the run games. You don't typically see that, Billy. Typically when you have a shootout, people think of two teams throwing the ball all over the place, but these two teams are doing it on the ground right now as that kick goes into the end zone for a touchback.
Well, and they're doing a great job of shifting and making adjustments. I think that's the one thing that I've seen with Duncan is how they're adjusting that front offensive line. Now, do you think that 2:55 is too much time to give them to come down and score?
Oh, that's more than enough time to go score. The way this half is gone, that's an eternity.
It might just
and they got 2 timeouts.
Might just be a keeper around the end for Sawyer Rice. Who knows?
That's all they need. He had an 82-yarder earlier. It's been a wacky first half, a lot of big plays, and again, if you weren't with us when this game started, like Newcastle's going to run away. It was 17-0 in the first quarter. Thought we might be kicking back in the second half, but Duncan, to their credit, battled back big time to cut it down to 3 on multiple occasions. We'll see if they can do it again. Here's Rice on the ground, first down. He'll run up the middle for a few. And it sets up a second down and long. Pretty well contained that time by the Racers.
Yeah, it was, and him taking it right up the middle. I was a little concerned about this side. They had no receivers to this side, so all the focus was at the top of the screen. But he seemed to be doing okay and just take it up the middle.
Second down and 6, what it's called officially here for Duncan. Rice will fake the handoff and throw out in the flat and pass Just looked like he started to run with it before he had it. Incomplete, intended for Jason Kortemeyer, who just, like I said, kind of like he started to turn upfield before he actually caught the ball and ended up sailing right past him.
Well, and I tell you what, if he had caught that, he may still be running because they had 2 blockers out there.
Yeah.
Had white jerseys well in hand.
Well, now if you're Newcastle, you can start to think the other way. On 3rd down and 6 with 2:25 to play, if you can get a stop here, you could have enough time going back the other direction and try and add to your lead. But first things first, got to find a way to get the stop. 3rd down, fake the handoff. Rice will throw far side. Picked off Ben Rogers! Racers get their 3rd interception of the night from 3 different players, and Newcastle set up in Duncan territory.
And again, you saw that defensive end getting around there and getting to Rice, and it just makes him a little shaky, throws it a little odd and off, and it just went right to Ben Rogers, right there in the middle. You saw that on the replay.
Yep, good look at it on the Eric Ledoux State Farm instant replay. 3rd interception of the night for Newcastle. Tucker Brown had the first one. Caden Longman, and now Ben Rogers gets himself one. And with 2:19 to go until halftime, Newcastle set up on the Duncan 38-yard line with a chance to go score some more points there before halftime, Billy.
Wow, that'd be fine with me. Let's send it out. I think they easily can get in there. They have all 3 of their timeouts left. They could easily go in and score as the time goes out, and then they'd be up, 17?
It's an injured Racer down here at the tail end of this play. Or is that a Duncan player down?
Duncan.
It's a Duncan player down. I couldn't quite make out the number. We'll go ahead and take a break here while they attend to him with 2:19 to go until halftime. Racers lead it by 10 here at the Oklahoma Sports Network. All right, back in Duncan, C.J. Warner, the injured demon down there, able to walk off under his own power, albeit a bit gingerly. But the Racers will take over on offense here after the Ben Rogers interception, setting up camp on the Duncan 38-yard line, 2:19 to work with until halftime. Fake the handoff, Cresswell will throw. Bounce out to his right, pressure coming, he'll just have to get rid of it. Duncan faithful, hoping for maybe an intentional grounding here. I think he was out of the pocket, and I think he got to the line of scrimmage. It probably was close.
Yeah, I don't see any flags coming out.
No flags yet.
I think you see the coaches over here asking about it.
Exactly. Trying to get an explanation there. He was definitely out of the pocket. It would be a question of the line of scrimmage, which it was close. Obviously, they're saying that it got there.
Wow.
So maybe a break call for Newcastle there. I don't know.
We'll take it.
Sets up 2nd down and 10. Ben Rogers, the running back, next to Cresswell after he got that interception. Now we have whistles and a timeout here taken by the Racers. So we'll go ahead and take it with them. Racers call a timeout, trying to get some more points on the board. 2:13 to play until halftime. Newcastle leading Duncan 31-21 on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
All right, back at Duncan. Josh Calloway, Billy Collier. Ryan Martinez working the camera for us. 2:13 to play until halftime. 2nd and 10 here coming up for Newcastle after the timeout taken.
I think that's Longman in there at quarterback.
No, it's Cresswell. He'll fake the handoff, throw out in the flat, looking for Rogers, and pass too tall off the fingertips and out of bounds. Of course, we saw Ben Rogers, his best catch today was on a snap way back at the very beginning of this thing, which feels like forever ago.
Yeah, he passed it to himself. Kind of jumped up and tipped it forward and then caught it.
That pass incomplete, and so after the interception, Racers haven't gone anywhere just yet. 2:09 now, and it'll be 3rd and 10 coming up.
And they haven't used a lot of clock either.
No, not at all. And now if you're Duncan, if you can get a stop here, you'll have time going back the other way. But Racers obviously probably 4-down territory if you can get, half of this back here. And they're going to run it with Ben Rogers. He doesn't go anywhere, though. That's Duncan all over it, bottling that one up. And an immediate timeout here taken by the Demons to stop the clock. Just their second used. And now they're going to have time back the other way, if you can believe it, with 2:03 to go until halftime.
So what would you do if it was you?
I think you got to punt it.
So I think so, too. Get
Up
him
by
down
10, 4th and 10. Try to pin him deep.
Yeah, I think you get him inside the 10 if you can.
Probably what I would expect they would do, although you never know. Because, that run from Rogers suggested to me that if they could have got 4 or 5, they would have went. But it didn't go anywhere. It's 4th and 10 coming up here. So we'll see what they do, though.
Now, it would be a lot bigger. It'd be over a 50-yard field goal. But we know the first game of the year that Medrano kicked a 47-yard field goal.
Yeah.
But I don't know that they would attempt that here. I don't see a punter coming out.
This would be that'd be much longer than that.
Yeah,
this would be
54,
50 plus,
55.
yeah. So I imagine they will punt it away here, although I say that, and here comes Blake Cresswell and the Racers offense back out on the field on 4th and 10 on the 38-yard line.
Wonder if they'll do that again to Schumard. It's kind of saved them the last few times.
We'll see what they'll do here. 4th and 10. What does Coach Brickman have cooking up here? They will try and go for it. Cresswell's going to throw. Pressure here. He bounces outside. He'll fire far side. Man, on the sideline. It's caught. Ball comes out at the end. And they're going to say incomplete. Would have been Duncan ball either way. The incomplete, it's actually better for the Demons because it saves them about 15 yards or so of field position. But it's an incomplete pass as Cresswell put that ball on Harmon Warmuth, who turned right into a big hit. The ball came jarred loose, but the official on that near side immediately said no catch, incomplete. Duncan will take over on the 38.
Yeah, that's one time when I wish it would have been a catch and a fumble. That would have been nice.
Yeah.
Have it way back there. But
yeah, it actually worked out better for Duncan that way. It would have been the Demons' ball either way, but about, 15-ish yards or so of field position difference from it being incomplete. So Duncan will take over, so both teams change. The offense is unstoppable, then they both turn it back to each other real quick, and with 1:56, Duncan takes back over on offense. Still with plenty of time. Only one timeout, though. Rice will hand it off to Holland, who's got room. Tavion Holland, a bullet across midfield out to the 45. Boy, he got shot out of a cannon on that.
Well, and it was a good call. The Newcastle had a 3-3 going in there, trying to back it up, waiting for that long one.
Quickly up to the line. Rice goes back to Holland again. Plows his way inside the 40. And so the Duncan offense trying to get some more points on the board here. Make it a one-score game again before halftime. Off to a good start. Up to the Racer 38 and back to the line again quickly.
Called a timeout. I think Newcastle called a timeout.
That they did. I had it marked down as them having used 2 already, but the board shows that they still have 1. So second timeout for the Racers with 1:28 to go until halftime.
Well, and that was a great timeout, too. I mean, they were lined up ready to
slow
go
things up for a
again.
second.
You still had the Racers looking over to get the call, and they were ready to hike it.
Been a wild first half, a lot of points, a lot of big plays. We'll wrap it all up coming up at the halftime report. We'll step aside for a little bit. Bill and I will catch our breath after this hectic first half, and then we'll get ready for the second half of action here from McCaslin Field, Halliburton Stadium in Duncan, Oklahoma. We'll take a peek at some other scores around the state tonight as well on this busy first night of district play all across the great state of Oklahoma. It gets you ready for the second half here from Duncan. Appreciate everyone being tuned in wherever you may be watching from. Live on YouTube tonight, Roku, Amazon Fire Stick, Apple TV, of course, oksportsnet.com, and the OSN app, which is available on both Apple and Android devices. Appreciate everyone being tuned in wherever you may be watching from. 10-point lead for Newcastle over Duncan here with 1:28 to go until halftime. It's a 2nd down and 4 for the Demons. Sawyer Rice takes a shotgun snap, throw out here on the near side. Scooped off the turf and getting up the field was Jason Kortemeyer. See where they actually marked that.
Looks like 33, enough for a first down.
Yeah, 1st and 10 at that spot. He got out of bounds, too, which stops the clock. Duncan still with 1 timeout to work with.
And they're still lining up those 3 receivers down at the bottom of your screen, but I would definitely watch for the fake short pass.
Rice will give it to Holland on the ground again. Holland running hard inside the 30 for a gain of about 5. That'll keep the clock moving down to 1:15 and counting as the Racers trying to bend but don't break here before halftime. Hopefully it came back. It's the exact same thing. Is it down?
Yeah. All right, we're back.
So 4th and 5 here after Caden Lawman, a great job to reestablish himself and knock that out of bounds. As it looked like for a moment, Kortemeyer was wide open down the sideline.
Watch for a quarterback run.
4th down, and they might have got a freebie here as a Racer defender as Housley coming through. And I think the yardage might be enough. We'll see. It's listed as exactly 4th and 5.
It's close. Look, yeah, they're getting him a first down. Wow.
First down pass is caught inside the 10, Kortemeyer. So after that penalty, the Demons are now set up 1st and goal in the final half minute of this first half.
Well, they're catching the Racers just late getting ready for the next play.
The no huddle has worked out quite well for Duncan in this possession. Sawyer Rice already with 3 rushing touchdowns tonight. Make it 4 as he cuts back and he's in. Touchdown Duncan. 7-yarder for Sawyer Rice, his 4th of the first half tonight.
Yeah, and that's great play, great run. Had them all spread out.
Unreal.
And you can't really stop it once they do that. Now, one concern that I have for Duncan is the fact that their quarterback has all their touchdowns. That has to be something you appreciate, but also concerning.
So Sawyer Rice's 4th rushing touchdown of the night makes it a 4-point game with an extra point coming. And it will be up and through with 22 seconds to play until halftime. So a ridiculous game to this point, just up and down. There hasn't really been hardly any defense in this first half to speak of, Billy. It's a 3-point game again with 22 seconds to go until halftime. And Duncan will start the second half with the football, by the way.
That's right, and that's something else to think about as well. They've found something that's helping them and shifting it up, switching it around, getting something that's confusing your Racer defense. So hopefully that's something they can talk about at halftime.
So 22 seconds on the clock. We'll stick here, as I don't think Newcastle will be overly aggressive here with just 1 timeout, but maybe they will. I've been wrong before. Maybe they'll take a couple chances, try to get down the field. We know Madrano's got a big leg, so get it across midfield. Feel like, hey, you got maybe a chance.
Yeah, well, and with number 1 and number 8, Centurio Boykin and Caden Longman, there's a chance they both have run one back on a kickoff. There's a chance they may run one back again. Let's see what kind of pooch he does.
Boykins and Longman, the 2 men back, like you said. Rogers and Schumard in front of them, should the kick be a little short. Right on cue here is Ben Rogers, feeling it at the 30. Breaks through the initial line, and he's got on his feet still, Ben Rogers, and he plows his way across midfield And with 17 seconds, Newcastle with a timeout probably feels like they got enough time to try and get down the field and maybe get some more points.
Well, if they can say that, there's a good chance if they can get about another 20 yards, there may be a good chance that gets into Medrano's.
Yeah.
Medrano's
Got a timeout
area
to work with, so I would think Newcastle definitely would be aggressive here and try and see if they can't get some more points before halftime again.
Now, with that, you're going to see it looks like they're going to do like a cover 3 or 4, just that prevent defense. So I wonder if a run may help them out here as well.
Remember, the clock will stop on a first down for them to reset the chains. We'll give them an opportunity probably to get up and spike it should that come to fruition. We'll see. 31-28 here, 17 seconds for the Racers to work with. Cresswell will throw. He'll fire far side looking for Boykins, but like again, we saw that earlier. I think they were not quite on the same page with the route there.
Boy, that was close to almost going down to play clock, going down to 0. So they're going to
13 seconds is now where they stand. You have that timeout, so I mean you can still throw something to the middle of the field here, but if you do that, that's probably about it. I mean, you're going to have that timeout, then you have to either kick it from where you are or throw one deep. We'll see what they do here on the 47-yard line of Duncan. Cresswell will try and throw. He'll bounce out to his right. Going to let it fly down the far side for Boykins, who makes the snag, but I don't think he got a foot down. He did not.
Didn't.
Incomplete. That was a heck of a snag with the hands there from Boykins, but right on the sideline, not able to get a foot down. And it's going to be third down with just 5 seconds now to work with. And I don't think even the speediest of plays here can get you in field goal range with only 5 seconds.
No. I don't think so either. Let's see what they do, but they may just go to end it.
You're on the 47, so you got to figure Cresswell can probably get it to the end zone, or at least pretty close, if you want to take a Hail Mary shot at it. Now, the scary thing there is it could get picked, and all of a sudden, you have a return to deal with. But we'll see how they want to approach it, how aggressive they want to be here. With 5 wide, suggests to me they're going to be aggressive. So Cresswell will try and throw for it. He's going to drop it off to Longman. They're going to try and see if they can't get a screenplay here. Longman with some blocking. He gets a couple guys to miss. There's a flag down. Longman will be swarmed down inside the 25, so it chewed up some yards. But he's corralled down. The flag is going to be on Newcastle anyway, I'm pretty sure. And that'll take us to the end of the first half because Duncan will decline the penalty, and that'll be the end of the half. So a wild first half ends with Newcastle leading at 31-28. Billy, obviously, in just an insane 24 minutes of football. Some good, but some ugly as well, as, you know, Newcastle's really struggling defensively. They've been able to score enough to have a lead, but 31-28 at the half.
Well, every time they get momentum, then Duncan takes it back.
Yeah.
And then about the time Duncan gets momentum, Newcastle takes it back. And so you've just seen this. It almost feels like it's been two extremes. It hasn't been a lot of play in the middle. It's just been extremely Duncan or extremely Newcastle.
Mm-hmm. So after 2 quarters, Newcastle leads it over Duncan 31-28, a very high-scoring, run-heavy football game. We've had 8 touchdowns. They've all been run plays in this game. Right now, the Brian Medrano 28-yard field goal is the difference on the scoreboard as Racers lead it by 3 at 31-28. Billy and I will step aside here. We'll let the bands do their thing here at Halliburton Stadium. Obviously, stream's not going anywhere. We'll rejoin you in about 15, 20 minutes or so. We'll hit some scores around the state tonight, and Billy and I will give some thoughts on what the Racers need to do in the second half to find a way to get this thing done here on the road in Duncan. Don't go anywhere. Halftime report here coming up next right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
Like there was a time when you'd have to put a hole there and 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 there. But this is just the same basic hole, and then you pick the direction you want to go.
Just having a 3-mile lateral, I think you're eliminating something like 60 wells that you'd have to put in.
That's a great leap forward.
You're able to tap the reservoir, and you have less of a footprint.
It never fails to blow me away.
Stuck inside for Wi-Fi? Not this summer. With Pioneer Fiber, get backyard Wi-Fi up to 950 feet from your home. So you can binge, game, Zoom, or work straight from your hammock. Add it for just $9.95 a month or get it free with a gig bundle. That's cheaper than your cold brew fix. Visit a Pioneer store or gopioneer.com and level up your summer.
All right, back in Duncan, Josh Calloway, Billy Collier with you on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Newcastle leading Duncan 31-28 in a wild first half. We're just moments away from getting the second half started here at Halliburton Stadium. Some quick scores for you around the state here as the teams get back out there, get ready to get back to it in just a moment. In district, Bishop McGuinness putting the smack down on Class and SAS, 58-0. The Fighting Irish in complete control in that one over the Comets. Collinsville, Del City, we thought that game might be good. 14-13 Cardinals leading the Eagles right now, early part of the second half there. So maybe a little bit of a surprise in that one right now. Booker T. Washington leading Durant 21-7. Midwest City, Southeast, we said we would learn a little bit more about those two teams. Southeast leads Midwest City right now, Billy, 16-8 at last check. Been a while since we had an update there, so it might have changed recently, but that's where we have it right now. Collinsville actually just scored again. 21-13 now is the score in that one. Some other quick scores. Carl Albert smashing Western Heights 52-0. Not surprising at all there. Coweta leads McAllister 13-9 as well in that one. So that's just a few 5A scores. Billy, the teams are getting ready to get this second half going. Quick key for you for the Racers. Very high-scoring first half, 59 total points in that first two quarters.
I think they just need to make some adjustments up front on defense. They figured out if they move the line that it puts us at a disadvantage, and I think they need to figure out how they can stunt. Maybe bring in Caden Davis or somebody that's good at getting around the backside of that defensive line. But I think that's really the major thing that I've seen. And then just tackle Sawyer. He's not Ricks and Meyer. Just tackle him. So those are the only two things that I saw.
8 total touchdowns in that first half, all rushing between Newcastle and Duncan. And you mentioned Sawyer Rice, the Duncan quarterback. He has 4 on the ground himself, a huge first half for him. Second half kickoff presented by First United Bank. Racers will boot it away to start the second half of action. The Demons will start on offense down by 3 points. As the opening kick here, getting across the 20-yard line and cutting back, tackled down just shy of the 25-yard line, is Boston White, who's been fairly quiet tonight considering how much we kind of talked about him pregame. A big part of this thing for Duncan, both offensively and defensively. Haven't heard from him a lot, but still a long way to go in this one. Make sure to thank our third quarter sponsor as we get back to action here, which is OEC, taking high-speed fiber where no one else will. No contracts, no fees, just a good connection, bringing you the power of high-speed fiber services to your door. Check them out at oecfiber.com. Newcastle leading 31-28. Billy, I mean, that's what you talk about in pregame. District matchup. Every game going to be critical down the stretch the rest of the season, trying to make the postseason and position yourself. A huge second half for these two teams here, starting right now.
Well, and they're lining up way out there, handoff. We didn't see Tavian Holland really get involved in the first half until about halfway through the second. And so I wonder if they're going to try and get him going after that handoff right there.
And his first carry there doesn't go for much, just about a yard on first down for the Demons. Yeah, very interested in what adjustments will be made defensively from both teams. Obviously, for the most part, it was up and down the field. And you get 59 points in one half of football. That's a lot of points. And a good start for the Racers defense there on the first play. Back to Holland on 2nd down and 9. Going to the right, not a whole lot of space there. He's able to slip his way forward for a few, but it does set up a 3rd down and medium. So the Racers a chance here, to try and get off the field quickly, get their offense back out there.
Well, that's a good job, whoever's on that defensive end line over there that brought him back inside into the rest of everybody. So that was a good job bringing it back. I think that was number 2 there, Ashton Schumard, bringing him back towards the players.
Big 3rd down here in the early part of this second half. Fake the handoff, Rice will roll it to his left, drop it off underneath, and it's dropped. Boy, probably would have got the first down there was Cord Brown, with a throw just a little bit behind him, just a tick, and it was enough to go off the hands, incomplete, and Newcastle gets a really big stop to start this second half, Bill. It felt like they needed that.
Oh, very much so, just a 3 and out. Was a little surprised they didn't go back too much to the pass, but I understand really why.
I mean, that play probably works if the throw is a little better.
Yes, and again, you saw the defender get back there and mess with the quarterback.
So a 3-and-out forced by the Racer defense. Duncan will have to punt. The boot is away here. Be fielded by Caden Longman on his own 35. Longman right up the middle here. Cuts to his right. There's a flag down at the tail end of the play.
Well, it's one of those things here. The offensive guy running back wanting to set up a block and just didn't get to the front of the defender. That was a pretty good run back. What was that, about 12, 13 yards that he brought it back?
Something like that.
So
we'll see what the flag is.
Just having a 3-and-out is a success for early on.
So waiting for the official call here, but it is going to be a block in the back, it looks like, on Newcastle. So back that up a little bit. Still will be pretty good field position for the Racers. I'll see what they can do on offense. 4 touchdowns for Newcastle in that first half, all on the ground as well, but they have spread the love a little bit more. Ben Rogers had the first one, Caden Longman the second, T.J. Bradford the big 79-yarder that kind of flipped the momentum back in their favor when everything was kind of going Duncan's way in that second quarter. And then Blake Cresswell got himself into the end zone on a 7-yarder as well. So 4 different guys have scored for the Racers in that first half, and we'll see what they can do here on their first drive of the third. Bradford to the left side is hogtied after no gain on first down.
I do like that 2-back look. You send Rogers in there to be the blocker for Bradford. Didn't get as many yards as you'd want to, but I do like that 2-back look.
So no gain sets up a 2nd down and 10:15 to play here in the third quarter. Appreciate everyone being with us on the Oklahoma Sports Network. First Friday of district play. And it's going to be a free 5 for the Racers here as a couple of Duncan defenders a little quick on the draw there.
Well, and that was a good call. You saw them coming in. They got real aggressive right there. Looks like they're going to make a change up front. I believe it's the second time there. Number 23 has done that, so they're going to make a change right there. They're playing a 34 defense.
So 2nd and 5 after the penalty. Cresswell almost fumbled the handoff, somehow caught it, and runs for a first down.
Wow.
Second time tonight, Newcastle's almost had a disastrous turnover, turned into a pretty good play.
Man, almost need to be the Newcastle Jugglers. Man alive,
oh,
that was
man,
a
that
great
was nearly
job.
a disaster, but Cresswell able to hang with it and ended up running for a first down. Slid down at the 47-yard line, 1st and 10, Newcastle at that spot. You'll take it.
Oh,
You'll
absolutely.
Take it. 1st and 10 there on their own 47. Here's Ben Rogers for the first time in the second half. Boy, he's got so much explosion, and he rumbles his way for a first down to the Duncan 40.
Yeah, just a good run. Run around there to the side. Excellent block by Bradford, cutting off that side. They're doing a real good job, the line of keeping the defenders in the middle, not letting them get to the outsides and cut those off.
1st and 10 at the 40-yard line. Newcastle on the move here, trying to get this score back to a 2-possession lead if they could put it in the end zone. And Duncan's going to have to burn a timeout here, I think. Yep, they're going to have to burn a timeout. They had a man running off late there. And Coach Terry not wanting to give up another free 5, or it would have been potentially, obviously, a free play for Newcastle if they could have got the snap off.
Yep. And
instead, have to take a timeout. So not one you want to really use there. This game looks like it might be decided in the fourth quarter. You hate to blow a timeout here early in the third quarter.
Well, and I hate that you didn't get to see it in the first game against Bartlesville, but it was pretty close at halftime. Nobody had really taken advantage. And then Newcastle came out and just pushed the foot down on the gas and took over the second half. And so maybe that's something that we'll see. I don't want to act like it's just out of the possibilities. But I believe that they're starting to have some struggle there on the defense, and that's what caused that 12th man to be out there.
So after the timeout, back to it. 1st and 10 for Newcastle at the Duncan 40-yard line. Leading by 3 points here on the road in the District 5A1 opener. Bradford on the handoff left side. He's got room. TJ Bradford cuts down the left sideline. There he goes. There's a flag down in the backfield. For now, it's a touchdown for Bradford, but we'll see if it hangs up. I'm thinking it's not going to.
Well, it's tough, and we talked about how the receivers are staying on their blocks. This may have been one of the times where it just looked like maybe a little bit more jersey than they wanted.
We'll see what the call is. It was right as Bradford got up the sideline, and it is a hold on the Racers. If it's down the field, you should still get some of the yardage here, if that's where it was. Looks like that's indeed the case. So they're actually going to put this at the 33-yard line. So it's going to be like a 1st and 2.
Right. And so that's pretty wild.
I mean, you'd rather have the touchdown, but
well, and if you're Duncan, you'd rather have it 1st and 3.
Yeah. 1st down, right back to him. Bradford cuts back up the middle, plunging his way across the 30, carrying a guy down to the 28. It'll be 1st and 10 at that spot.
That was a good, strong run right there. Excellent job. Went back to him. You saw the defense kind of close that up, and he made a good cut back, but just couldn't quite get back.
You see on the sideline there, really enjoying that 1st down was Blake Allen, 73. He was getting a workout. He's still doing it, still pointing 1st down. I think he pointed 1st down about 20 times on that.
And he can't miss it. I mean, he's one of the bigger guys.
He stands out over there. 1st and 10 at the 28. Newcastle on the move, leading by 3, trying to add to it. Cresswell fires out underneath. This is Brewer. Gets a block from Schumar. Brewer cuts back up the middle. That's a 1st down into the Trinity Restoration red zone.
That was a great job. Got it out there a lot faster. I've noticed a few of them that haven't worked. The ball got out there a little slower. That time I got out fast, and Brewer did a great job of just getting as much yardage as he could before the defender could get to him.
Well, it feels like we didn't really say Corbin Brewer's name a ton the first 4 games of the year, but he's been very involved here tonight. Another big one there for a 1st down in the red zone. Bradford up the middle, running between the tackles, slithering his way inside the 10, running hard down to the 9. And Newcastle just chewing up yardage on the ground here again, and they're knocking on the door.
Yes, and you know Bradford, he's not going to let anybody show him up in this game. He's gonna be the number 1 runner out there. That's what he wants every game.
Well, anytime you have 79 yards on one play, you're in good shape to have a good stat line, and Bradford's certainly doing that right now. 2nd down and short here at the 9. They can get a 1st down at about the 6. So in good shape right now are the Racers, but got to finish this drive off. 8 minutes to play in the 3rd. Rogers will be sent out in motion. They'll go back to Bradford. No, they fake it to him. Throw it in the flat Rogers, and he dropped it. An incomplete pass. Thought it might be backwards, but the official on the near side there immediately calling it, saying it was forward, incomplete.
Well, he was quick to say it. Hey, no, because I think that defender was looking to wrap him up as well.
Yeah, would have been a loss of a couple there, but instead it goes incomplete. So it'll be 3rd down and short at the 9. Got to get, you can see it in the camera shot there. Got to get to about the 6. And so we'll see what they want to do here. You'd think probably put this on the ground with Bradford, but maybe not.
It just either a handoff to Bradford or maybe a pass out here to Brewer on the other side.
3rd and short. They will go ahead and fake it to their bell cow running back. Cresswell running hard, spins his way to the 5. I think that's a first down, and it looks like it definitely is inside the 5. But I'll tell you what, we did not really see a lot of QB run game with Blake Cresswell in the non-district play, but they've been utilizing that tonight, and it's worked out pretty good.
I think it's been great. It's been at very specific times when he needed it, and whenever he sees him kind of crunching in there on Bradford, he'll hold it and let them get him.
First and goal at the 5 for Newcastle, knocking on the door of another 2-score lead. They'll go Bradford on the ground. He tripped up in the backfield. Did he stay up? No, he did not. Official immediately says he was down. For a second, I thought he pulled some Houdini stuff there.
Oh, it looked like he could. If he could have stayed up, it'd been an easy touchdown.
Yeah, he would have walked in, but they're going to say he was down, so it's no gain. Second and goal coming. It's been a great drive for the Racers here, trying to finish it off, though, in the end zone.
Yeah, I got Longman down there at quarterback.
You nailed it. Caden Longman replacing Cresswell. Gives him a little more flexibility in the QB run game. Longman will hand it to Bradford. He's blown up in the backfield. All over that one for the Demons. Number 1, Jason Kortemeyer immediately read that one all the way, wrapped up Bradford around the legs, and he lost a yard or two.
Well, and you saw there, Kortemeyer didn't care if he was getting the ball or not. He was going to tackle Bradford.
Yeah.
And so he got in there and just shut that off.
So now you got third and goal back near the 7. Interesting play call here for Newcastle on how they want to approach this. I would think if you can get it down to 3 or 4, it's a no doubt go for it on 4th down. So that we'll see how that influences the 3rd down call. Fake it to Bradford. Fire. Slant route for Brewer, and he missed him. Incomplete. Boy, Brewer had a step on his man. If that throw was a little more on target, that probably is a touchdown, but just wide, and it goes incomplete. And now it looks like Newcastle, backed up to the 7, is going to have to settle for a field goal. Wow. That's a big stop for Duncan.
Huge stop. I mean, instead of having 7, having 3, that only puts you up 6. It keeps it underneath a touchdown.
So Brian Madrano, who's hit one already today, hit a 28-yarder earlier. This one set up for about a 22-yarder, so even shorter. Snap is good, hold is good, and Brian Madrano cashes in once again. The field goal is through, but feels like that's a win for Duncan to hold the Racers to just 3 there. 6:23 to go in the 3rd. Newcastle leads Duncan 34-28. You're watching high school football right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
At CFD, our mission is to deliver quality dentistry by providing big practice benefits with a little practice feel. Since 2008, we've updated our look, technology, and have added new smiles to our tenured staff to better care for you right here at home. Convenience for you is one of our biggest goals, and we often provide same-day treatment to minimize your time off work. We are open Monday through Friday to serve you. Visit cfdok.com for details. We look forward to seeing you at our big little practice.
Back in Duncan, Josh Calloway, Billy Collier on the Oklahoma Sports Network. 34-28, Newcastle leading Duncan in this high-scoring affair on this first night of district play. 6:23 to go here in the 3rd. A good drive for Newcastle there, Billy, but like I mentioned for the commercial break there, it feels like that's a win for Duncan to hold them to 3 and keep it a one-score game.
Well, and you definitely do not want them getting any confidence, getting ready to come into offense, because a lot of their players play both ways.
Madrano will boot it away with Newcastle leading by 6 here on the road. It'll go into the end zone, and Duncan will bring it out to the 20. So you saw Newcastle's defense buckle down, get a 3-and-out to start. We'll see what they can do here second time through.
Well, and they're great, and the coaches at Newcastle are great at making the adjustments. Mm-hmm. And so I know they saw some things that they could fix or at least maneuver to, and so I'm hoping that they can see those. The players have that down, and they're ready to do that.
Be sure to tune into the Newcastle Racers coaches shows on Thursday night at Luigi's. The great Gene Reed, the host. Uriah Martinez obviously helping out with that as well every Thursday night. Setting the stage for the next ball game at Luigi's. Great show last night. Been doing it all season long. Fake the handoff here. Sawyer Rice, the Duncan quarterback, will slip his way forward for about a yard, not much more than that. Good job by Newcastle defense there, not biting on the handoff.
That was a good job.
Yeah.
It looked like Holland had a lot of space down there to the bottom part of but they probably saw that it was a fake.
Just past the midway point of quarter number 3 here in Duncan. Rice will fake the handoff throw out in the flat, and he bounced it in there, incomplete to Boston White. So now, once again, Duncan is backed up, 3rd down, and call it a short 9 or a long 8. Either way, a long way to go to the stick here for Duncan. They're going to have to try and throw for it, you would think, and that hasn't been what they've wanted to do. I mean, the run game has been really what's been very effective tonight.
Well, if they can get back there and really mess with him, get to the quarterback.
3rd and long. Rice will fake the handoff. He'll fake the pass and try to run. Slipping his way forward. Bouncing off guys.
Ooh.
Ball might have came out at the tail end of that. It was on the turf. Who's got it? The Racers have got it. A huge turnover as Newcastle blows up Sawyer Rice. I think he actually had maybe picked that up, but the ball comes out. And for the 4th time tonight, Newcastle forces a really big turnover.
A huge turnover. He was really fighting, not wanting to go down, and I think while he had one hand out, it left only one hand on the football, and they were able to punch it and knock it out.
So Newcastle will take over on the 30-yard line. 4th turnover of the night. 3 interceptions and now a fumble. As good as Sawyer Rice has been, that's 4 turnovers now. And Newcastle has a huge opportunity to try and go make this a 2-score game again if they can get anything here. But obviously you'd like a touchdown.
Right, get it in the end zone.
So 1st and 10 at the 30. Both running backs in on either side of Cresswell. 3 receivers set. Handoff goes Bradford. Cuts forward and able to get ahead up near the 20-yard line. Good pickup on 1st down there for the star running back for the Racers, T.J. Bradford.
And I love his running. Now, you've probably never seen me. I'm one of those short guys, too. And I loved how he's just low and can run underneath the arms and everything of the defense and just kind of scoot up there and I know you hate this term, bebop through the defenders and get up there
bebop.
For 8 yards.
Give him 8 yards on that. Sets up 2nd down and short at the 22. Got to get to the 20. Rodgers will split out. Cresswell, meanwhile, right back to him. Keep feeding him. T.J. Bradford carrying defenders inside the Trinity Restoration red zone. 1st and 10.
And I think you're starting to see some hands on the hips. They may be wearing down that defense. Again, for Duncan, a lot of their really good players are playing both directions. And they said Zion Butler had that, so you know he's playing offense and defense. So it may be wearing them down.
Boy, what a luxury it is if you're Newcastle to have a running back like T.J. Bradford. You can just hand the ball to, say, go get it. You also have this guy, Ben Rodgers. Cuts back, tons of room. He's in. Touchdown, Ben Rodgers. 17 yards, almost untouched to the end zone.
Oh, that was a great run. I was worried when he cut back right. I was wondering, he's usually running around the end, and that time he cut back, and I thought, uh-oh. But he took it right into the end zone. What were they, on the 17?
Yep.
And so took it for a 17-yard touchdown. Great run.
And Newcastle has dropped a 40-piece here in Duncan as Ben Rodgers, his 2nd of the night from 17 yards out. And the Newcastle lead is now up to 2 scores at 40-28. An extra point on the way here for Medrano is booted through. So Newcastle gets the turnover, and they're able to cash it in with a 17-yard touchdown run from Big Ben Rodgers. 4:43 to go in the 3rd. Newcastle leads over Duncan 41-28. You're watching high school football on the Oklahoma Sports Network. All right, back in Duncan, Josh Calloway, Billy Collier on the Oklahoma Sports Network. 41-28, Newcastle leads Duncan. 4:43 to go here in the third. Appreciate everyone being tuned in. We've had a very entertaining ball game here. Lots of points. Feels like we might have a few of these this year, Billy. Obviously, Newcastle Blanchard, over 100 total points in that game.
Right.
And even last week against Elgin, 42-24. It's not exactly a low-scoring game. And here tonight, more points on the board.
Well, and if you have the over-under at 70, you may be in trouble.
Yeah, you're sweating it. Kick goes into the end zone, and Duncan will bring it out to the 20. So Racers' defense so far in this second half, I mean, it was not pretty in that first half, Billy. Mm-hmm. Duncan kind of got a lot what they wanted, a lot on the ground. Sawyer Rice, those big runs. But so far in the second half, Racers have got a 3-and-out and then force a turnover.
Well, and they've got to keep their foot on that gas. I think that's what happened in the first half. They got up 17-0, and then it almost felt, I don't know if it's for sure, but it almost felt like they let up just a bit.
Yeah.
And that's what got Duncan back in the game.
So 4:43 to go in the quarter, and Duncan will take back over on their own 20. Feels like a huge drive now here for the home team to try and get something.
They're going with that cluster again.
Rice will hand it off to Holland on first down, and again, just nothing there. Newcastle has found a way to clog up those run lanes in the early part of this second half so far. There hasn't been any room.
No, and that's, you're watching Jaden Fletcher. He's kind of jumping into those holes and getting there right as the handoff goes.
Yeah.
And being able to kind of slow that all up and let those other guys get there.
4:22 and counting here in the third. Still plenty of time, but if you're Duncan, you're feeling like, man, can we really afford to not score on this drive with the way Newcastle's moving the ball? Big drive for the Demons. Here's Holland going to the far side. Able to carry a couple white jerseys forward for a few, but, again, not a lot of room, and it's going to be a third down and about 5 coming up for the Demons.
Well, and he's a strong runner. You saw it right there. He's not going to go down easy, and he's wanting to break one. He didn't want to give all the touchdowns to the QB. No running back does.
They did give him the 26 on that, so it's a 3rd and 4 here for Duncan. Almost got a couple of racers to move early. The official on the near side, the Duncan sideline, you could see him shake his head no, as in like a couple Duncan coaches maybe saying, hey, was that not early movement? Rice on a QB run, trying to find somewhere to go, and there's nowhere to go. A barrage of white jerseys collapse on Sawyer Rice, and it's going to be 4th down. Housley in there.
Oh, great job by Housley. Great job by the defense pushing him back. Earlier we saw Sawyer get around, and I should say Sawyer Rice, get around the end and take it all the way. They're not letting him get to that end, and it's slowing him down. He's having to make cuts, and it's letting other people catch up.
4th and 2 on their own 28-yard line, and Duncan's got their offense on the field. This will be quite a gutsy decision. You wonder, it's not an easy one. I'm not going to act like it's an open and shut, but, boy, this is a backbreaker if you don't get this, Billy. This is a huge call here on 4th and 2. They're going to go. Rice, QB run up the middle. He's got it by a yard or two. So a very gutsy call, and it pays off for the Demons as they move the sticks.
Well, and I would say that was a very good call in the fact that, with Rice right there, he's going to get you at least a couple yards every time he touches it. So,
boy, you don't get that. You're turning the ball over to Newcastle inside your own 30, already down 13. But don't worry about that now as they picked it up. 2:25 to go in the quarter. Rice will throw it back underneath here. It's caught, able to somehow slip his way up to the 38-yard line. On that one was Kortemeyer. Good pickup on first down.
And you got to watch Kortemeyer. He's got a lot of speed on him as well.
Yeah.
It was a good job there, number 15, I guess, at Warmouth, bringing him back to the inside.
It's a good job to kind of scoop that pass. It was a little low, but good catch. Here's Holland on the run, able to burst through the line, carry a couple guys with him out near the 45. He ends up getting to the 46. That'll be another first down for the Duncan.
Yeah, boy, it showed a lot of strength there. I mean, there were guys just jumping up in the air to be on the pile, and he's still standing. Looks like they're trying to go tempo, too.
Duncan did a little bit of that. It was more out of necessity in the late part of that first half when it was, at the time, a 31-21 game, and it worked quite well. So wouldn't shock me to see them kind of go back to it a little bit here when the offense has gone a little stagnant. Here's a design QB run for Rice. He goes to the left side, gets a good block from his running back, Holland, and he's into Newcastle territory up near the 40. That's another first down.
Well, and you saw right there, looks like at number 13, I think there, Alex Schumard kind of pushed him back towards the inside, so he wasn't given that outside and just a lot of distance to go, even though he did get a first down.
On the Newcastle 42, so Duncan, obviously by far their best drive of the second half right now, as they try to get back to within one score here of the Racers. Handoff Holland, cut back, and he's wrangled down just past the 40 by Jaden Fletcher. Short pickup on first down.
Boy, and Jaden Fletcher's really doing a great job there on the interior line.
Yeah.
If he gets his hand on you, you either drag him or you're done.
Nearing the final minute here of the third quarter at Halliburton Stadium in Duncan, Oklahoma. Josh Calloway, Billy Collier enjoying what's been a good one here tonight. First night of district play. Duncan trying to get this back to a one-score game in the late part of this third quarter. Holland on the ground for the Demons. Cut back move inside the 35, plowing his way down, nearing another first down. It's been all on the ground. Newcastle making them work for it, but right now it's working for the Demons as they continue to ground and pound their way down the field.
And they're doing a great job. That was just a shifty run from him. Usually he's running power. You saw right there where he'd stop on a dime and kind of cut back right and then back left.
They said he was just short. It's a third down, and it looks like less than a yard here. And the Newcastle Racers moved early again. So for the second time here, a penalty, an encroachment penalty, is going to neutral zone infraction. Whatever it is, it all works out the same. 5 yards and a first down. That's something we're more used to seeing Newcastle take advantage of.
Right. Yeah, we haven't seen too much of that tonight.
Not really. Not really this season
Twice,
as much.
guess.
It's happened, but not as much as we're used to. 25 seconds to go in the quarter. Rice, some pressure in his face, going to fire deep. Got a man down there. Oh, boy, just off the fingertips of Boston White, who we mentioned in pregame is typically a pretty big part of this thing for Duncan, their top receiver, or at least one of their top receivers, and a top defender. We haven't really said his name that much. He almost came up with a huge play there, though, but just off the fingertips.
Yeah, that was going to be real big. And you saw Alex Schumar there just lay out as best he could to mess him up as best he can. They're really having trouble with this little cluster down here.
2nd and 10 after the incomplete pass. They'll go back to Holland on the ground. Not a whole lot of space to work with there as he gets a couple. And it'll be third down coming up the chains, by the way. Say second down. There it goes. Now it says third down. I'll say that first down play happened. I didn't imagine it, did I?
No.
3rd and 7 it'll be. The clock stopped for unknown reasons after that run play. They do run it now. This should be the final play of the quarter.
They don't look like they're in too big a hurry.
Well, I'm kind of surprised by that, but I guess, it is a big play. Maybe take the quarter to talk about it, and that's what they'll do. That'll end the third. Racers actually pitch a shutout in the third. But Duncan's on the move and down just 13. After 3, Newcastle leads Duncan 41-28. You're watching high school football on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
You can look up at our screen right here. That's our lifeblood. That's how we know what's going on at 14,700 foot.
Because you're completely blind otherwise.
That's correct.
People don't really understand the level of tech that's going on.
Yes, sir. Well, this whole thing is extremely high tech. I mean, just the ability to be able to drill down 13,000 feet and then put 90-degree turn in the well and then drill out another 3 miles.
It doesn't matter how casually you say it. It's a freaking miracle, man.
Yes, sir.
Back here in Duncan, Josh Calloway, Billy Collier on the Oklahoma Sports Network. We head to the fourth quarter of this highly entertaining District 5A1 opener. It's Newcastle leading Duncan 41-28 as we head to the fourth. Billy, obviously Duncan here on the move. They have a 3rd and 7 coming up. Racers in position. You're up 13 points, but this is a huge drive and sequence here. If they can find a way to keep Duncan out of the end zone, that's going to make things really tough on the home team.
Well, and you're finding Duncan not really having a good time getting first downs if they are 3rd and long. So if they can stop them at the line of scrimmage or even behind the line of scrimmage, I think that's going to cause a lot of problems for them.
As the teams get out there, make sure we thank our fourth quarter sponsor, which is Chris Dumm, All-State Agent. Chris knows what life is like in Newcastle, that you choose your car and your home to fit your lifestyle and your budget. He also knows how important it is to do the same when it comes to insurance. He looks forward to getting to know you and helping you find solutions that meet your needs. Call him today, 405-392-2390. Chris Dumm, All-State Agent, our fourth quarter sponsor. Third down play, thrown out in the flat here. It's caught by Boston White up the sideline, and he is near the marker. It's going to be close. I think he's short by a yard or two.
Looks like
and
it.
a big fourth down coming up here for the Demons.
Sure, it looks like he's short by a yard.
Big fourth down here in the red zone.
And they're going to go tempo.
You got to go for it. No brainer there. Down 13 here in the early part of this fourth quarter. This is a huge play in this game, and really, in some ways, this season. District play is all so big. Fourth down play. Almost got a racer to move over. That was close. That was close.
I'd be afraid of what Coach would say.
Fourth down. They're going to go for it here. QB
Oh,
run,
tight.
and he got blown up. Second effort made it close, but he's short. He is short. Laying the boom there, Ashton Schumard, number 2. He laid the initial lick. Sawyer Rice did a good job to kind of keep the legs moving to make it close. But he was short. The official signal, he stopped on fourth down. The Racers will take over.
Wow. That was just inches. I mean, he was less than half a yard from getting that first down. That's the first time you've seen them really stop him at a crucial time.
That was a great play by Schumard. Came in, and that was a big lick to knock him back. And again, Rice somehow managed to kind of keep his feet and lunge forward to make it close. But he was short of the marker. Newcastle's defense has bowed up in this second half so far. And they've got the football back, leading by 13. And now you have a chance, Billy, to kind of salt the game away if you can put together a drive here. Bradford on first down. Sprints forward, spin move, somehow tap dancing his way out near another first down. I don't know how he did that.
I don't either. That was great. The only thing I can think is you didn't see a whole lot of the Duncan players running off the field at the change of possession. I've got to think they're starting to get worn down.
They actually gave him a first down on that. It looked like it was going to be maybe a 1 or 2 yard gain. They ended up getting a first down. Unbelievable. 1st and 10 right there at the 29. Feels like if Newcastle can put together a drive here that ends in points, that's going to make things really tough on Duncan here on their home soil. 11-10 and counting to play in this one. Racers lead by 13. Ben Rogers on the right side. The explosion. He fights his way forward out near the first down again. And something, you talk about maybe Duncan starting to wear down defensively a little bit. That's where having these 2 running backs and you can just keep going back and forth with them, keeping the other guy fresh, that's where it just really starts to take a toll on a defense.
Well, and don't forget about Cresswell tonight, too.
Yeah, he's been great.
About the time you're running after 5 and then you run after 24, number 6 takes it right up the middle.
You mix in a Longman in there, too. It's a lot to deal with. Rogers again. This is Bradford, right up the middle. Just bouncing off guys across midfield. First down and then some to the Duncan 45. Boy, the way T.J. Bradford can just wiggle his way up, doesn't need a lot of room, just a tiny seam, and he can make it happen.
Well, and they're just having success run after run now. You saw in the first half, they weren't having a whole lot of success on the runs.
1st and 10 at the 45, as this Newcastle offense has found their groove right now, and it's starting with number 5 and number 24. The run game has been phenomenal. Keep riding it. Back to Bradford again. Able to sidestep one man and dive forward for a few. Short pickup on first down.
But you're seeing a Duncan just slow to get up off the ground.
They're tired.
Getting down on one knee. See what his name is, number 15 there.
That's
for
Zion
Duncan.
Butler. He's been great tonight.
Man, he's been a beast tonight.
He's been everywhere.
You're starting to see him kind of getting worn down a little.
You can feel this if you're Duncan slipping away a little. You played so well, and you're right in this, but Newcastle right now just kind of inserting their will. More Bradford just plowing his way forward out near another first down. It's like everyone gets tired as a late flag comes in. Everyone starts running the gas except for number 5. It's like he looks the same.
Right.
Everyone else slows down. He looks the same. See what this flag is here. This could be a big call.
Well, it came out real late.
Yeah, it was after the play, it seemed. This could totally derail Newcastle's drive if it's on the Racers. I don't know who it's on.
Well, it looks like he's facing towards Duncan. Well, no, he just turned around. Doggone it.
Looks like the ball was marked right at the chains. Would have been really close to another first down. We'll see what the call is. I don't think anyone knows. Duncan coaches on the field waiting for a call.
And Sportsmanlike.
And it's on Newcastle. So I think the signal there, unless I'm misreading it, is that they called it a first down, and then it was after the play, I think. So it still should be 1st and 10 here, backed up to midfield. I think that's what he signaled. I'm going off literally the signals here, but I think that's what he ruled.
Well, and you're seeing him move now.
Yeah, it's first down.
Yeah.
It should also be 1st and 10, which it looks like it will be. It shouldn't be 1st and 25. So 1st and 10, yep, right at midfield. Not that bad. Ben Rogers back on the ground here. Oh, he got blown up there. A big pop laid by the Duncan defender. That was Ty Lane, number 22, who came in. You don't see Ben Rogers get knocked back like that very often. That was a pop.
That was a hit right there. You saw at least one of his foot come way up off the ground. The other one may have joined it. That was a good hit.
Big hit there. He lost a yard. And it sets up a 2nd and long. But one thing Newcastle's doing right now, they are just chewing up clock as we're going to go underneath 9 minutes now. And even if they don't score on this drive, you've kind of already accomplished something in the fact that they've wasted some time off here.
Yeah, but score.
Oh, you want to score.
But score.
2nd and 11. Cresswell faked the handoff they're going to throw for the first time on this drive. Cresswell going to fire out over the middle of the field, right on the sideline, and knocked away. Was looking for Schumard, well defended by Boston White. Came in and was able to break that up. Sets up a 3rd long, and now what you didn't want to do, you stop the clock.
Yeah.
8:40 on the clock.
I think he was close enough to the line of scrimmage. I wonder if just sliding inbounds would have been the better option, but I don't. You never teach them. I mean, it's not what you coach them to do.
Something we've learned, and obviously Cresswell's a new player. He transfers in from Dibble, so we're learning him every Friday night. He's not a big throw-the-ball-away guy. He kind of always thinks he can make the play, which is you kind of wanted that a little bit in your quarterback, that belief. 3rd and long, Cresswell will throw here. He's going to drop it off to Longman. Pass is tall. It's picked off. Disaster here, and Duncan's got it back inside the 40 as the pass was deflected and then intercepted by the D lineman, Billy McClinton. And Duncan has got some life with 8:33 to go.
Wow.
Really the one thing you couldn't really do there, Billy, a turnover. Now Duncan's got the ball in plus territory.
No, you can't do that because just a little wind comes out of your sail and goes into their sail.
Yeah.
And so now they're right there on the 39-yard line, and it's time for defense to stand up again.
Yeah, this is going to be a big sequence now because even if you didn't pick that up and you punt and you make them go the length of the field, it's going to take a lot of time. You just save them a lot of time because now Duncan sets up on the Racer 39-yard line, and the Demon Faithful with some belief back in this place on 1st and 10. Holland on the ground. Good job with some hesitation there. Let a couple Racer defenders fly by him. Was still able to get 2 yards out of it, which with the way it started, looked like that I think you would have signed up for that if you were Duncan. It looked like that was going to lose a few.
Oh, yeah, that was good that he got out there for a couple.
Yeah.
But, they understand the desperation of the moment as well.
Yeah. I mean, you're at a point now, you need points. There's not enough time to not get points. Rice back to Holland on the ground.
Good job.
Boy, the Racers' run defense has been so good in the second half, and why not? T.J. Bradford, the one kind of blowing that play up.
Well, and it's so smart. He stayed right in there understanding he had a job to do and stayed in his lane and stopped it for no gain.
And we really don't talk about T.J. Bradford's defense enough. Very good defensive player, and he showed it right there. 3rd and long now for Duncan. Rice going to throw, pressure in his face. Housley is able to sidestep him. Rice will take off those over the fight side. It's caught by White. Makes one man miss in the red zone. Cutback move, slung down at the 10. Boy, Newcastle was so close to blowing that play up. But Sawyer Rice somehow finds a way to get it up to White, who makes a couple guys miss, and it's suddenly 1st and goal for the Demons.
Wow.
How quickly this thing shifts. Holland on the ground, plowing his way ahead inside the 5. And it'll be 2nd and goal there at the 3.
And he just went helmet to helmet with somebody right there in the middle. So
quickly up to the line again. Duncan going fast. Rice back to Holland. Right side. No, Rice kept it. He slung down in the backfield for a loss. What a play by the Racers defense. Reading that one all the way was Karsten Pupke. Blowing that one up.
Oh, just a great job. Pupke right there just had a hold and was not going to let go. And I think I think Rice is feeling that one there on the
He
left
just had a
leg.
handful of jersey and just wouldn't let go.
No.
So that loses about 5 yards. That's a huge play. 3rd and goal, back to the 8. Rice will roll out to his right here. Pressure coming. He's going to have to get rid of it, and he's blown up on the sideline. Ball came out. Jaden Fletcher with the strip sack. It went out of bounds, and it'll be marked there at the 11. What a hit by Fletcher, and all of a sudden from knocking on the door to 4th and goal way back at the 11.
Oh, they had it down at the, 3-yard line?
Yeah. What a play by Fletcher there. That was great.
Yes. Oh, it was so good. And just getting in there. Big number 85. Let me find him real quick. Yeah, Quinn Housley was back there, and him and Holland were dance partners there, and he blew that up, making Sawyer have to go farther around.
Well, you now suddenly stumbled into the biggest play of the night. 6:38 to go. It's 4th and goal at the 11-yard line, and Duncan has got to have this. Play clock's at 5. They get it off. Rice will roll out to his left. Pressure coming in his face. That's Tucker Brown. He's able to sidestep him. Rice is going to fling it at the last moment. It's knocked away. Pass breakup for the Racers on the sideline. I can't quite see the number. We'll get the replay here. I can read it better on the replay. I think it was it Shumar 13? I think so, yeah. I think that's right. Shumar 13 breaking that up.
Wow, what, man, crucial breakup right there. You let them score right there, they're right back within 6.
Boy, I'll tell you what, that was a really impressive defensive stand for Newcastle. I mean, after the turnover, Duncan gets a couple big plays. They've got his 2nd and goal inside the 5. You blow up that run play. Rice gets smoked on the sideline by Fletcher, and then you defended that last play there really well. That was really well done.
Man, great job.
I'll tell you what, we knocked the Racer defense in the first half, but you got to give them their flowers in the second half. They are pitching a shutout right now in the second half, Billy.
Man.
Pretty impressive.
We're now 6:31.
6:31 to
go down the field
on their own 10-yard line, and you can really do some damage on that clock now. First down, handoff to Bradford. He's slung down for a pickup of a few. Duncan still has all their timeout. Oh, no, excuse me. They did use one earlier. I forgot. They blew one real early in this half. So they have 2 timeouts. If you're Duncan, 6:15 to go, you need a quick stop here to have a shot. A quick stop.
I don't know where you're going to get because you know Newcastle's going to run and run and run and run, only throwing when they have to.
You're in the midway point here of the 4th quarter. Racers lead by 13. Bradford on the ground, making guys miss again. T.J. Bradford, the hesitation. He's out across the 30. My goodness. My goodness. He's got defenders on a yo-yo just bouncing his way down the field for another huge gain.
Wow, that was incredible. You're just watching defenders tripping over their own feet.
It's unreal.
Trying to figure out where he's going to run.
The start and stop ability is just so fun. And a huge run there out near the 32-yard line. Newcastle is knocking on the door right now of putting this thing on ice. Still got a little ways to go, but in good shape right now. Leading by 13. Cresswell in the shotgun with Bradford behind him. They've leaned on their run game in this second half, really all night, but especially in the second half. Bradford tripped up in the backfield this time. Well defended by the Demons.
Yeah, that was good job. They got back there. I just love that they're letting the clock run.
Mm-hmm.
You're down to about 5 minutes left in this game. For such a long first half, this second half is going like a blip.
We're zipping. Yeah, this Newcastle offensive line too. They've just leaned on Duncan in this second half.
Yes,
it's been the difference. Final 5 minutes here at Halliburton Stadium, McCaslin Field. Newcastle trying to put the finishing touches on a district opening win. Cresswell fakes the handoff. He'll keep it himself. Hit from behind, but he's able to fall forward across the 35 to the 36.5 or so. Sets up a 3rd and manageable. And Duncan right now feels like they got to have this stop right here.
Oh, yeah. You're less than
down
4.5
2 scores,
minutes.
yeah.
Yeah, they're holding on to those 2 timeouts, which you got to that's smart.
Mm-hmm.
But there's going to come a time when you're going to have to start using them or something.
Newcastle close to a 1-0 start to district play if they can find a way to finish this thing off. 4 minutes and change to go. Play clock at 5. They will get it off. Hand off. Rogers bounce outside. Can he get around that corner? He does. First down. Racers again. Boy, Ben Rogers has got he always beats his man to the corner, to the edge. It's unbelievable. The burst.
Well, and as big as he is, most guys that size, and we see it in Holland, they enjoy more cutting and going up the middle. That's that power run.
Right, yeah, he wants the edge.
He is fast enough, big as he is, to get around that edge. And there's really nobody left over there to tackle him except a defensive back.
We're under 4 minutes now. He did go out of bounds, stops the clock, but it's a 1st and 10 at that point up here to the 48-yard line. And Newcastle doing what they needed to do right now, marching down the field and working that clock. Bradford again up the middle, slithering his way across midfield for another 4 or 5.
He must have incredible vision. The guy was coming at him like a missile, and he looks like his head is down and just shifts to the right, and the missile goes sliding by him like a scud and just gets up there. It's incredible.
3:37 and counting. That clock just melting away right now as Newcastle trying to work their way across the finish line of a big road win to open up district play.
You're seeing a lot of hands on hips. Of course, it looks like the linebackers are coming up
That's
close.
what a run game will do to you. Bradford up the middle again. Another first down, slung down inside the 40. They are just feeding number 5, and he is munching up yardage right now.
Well, and I don't know if you noticed right there, the linebackers paused for a second because Cresswell made a fake that he still had the ball, and so you saw them just freeze where they were at, and that gave Bradford time to get farther up the field.
We're going to be under 3 minutes before they snap the ball next year.
They could sit on it for another 10 seconds if they wanted.
Yep. 1st and 10 at the Duncan 39-yard line. Back to Ben Rogers this time. Not a whole lot there. Did a good job just to get forward at all. Maybe a yard. I will mention, not that it's mega impactful, but it could be. It would technically behoove Newcastle to score again here. They're at 13 right now. Point differential maxes out at 15, so if they were to get down and score again, that could help them in point differential. It's a small difference, but you never know what could be the difference at the end of the year.
Well, if you think
of course, you go 6-0 in district play, it doesn't matter.
Right.
Which is the goal right now.
Well, if you get down there close enough, you got Medrano kick a field goal, and that takes it up to 16.
Right now, looks like they're just looking at working this clock all the way out. Here's Rogers bouncing off to the right side again. It's going to be another first down. Tripped up at the 25. This racer run game is just a sight to behold right now. These two guys just back and forth putting on a show.
Yeah, just crunching.
We're going to have some options for the Integris Health Newcastle Player of the Game Award.
Well,
I don't know where to go with it. We'll give that out post-game, and don't go anywhere post-game. Billy and I will wrap it all up here from Duncan. We'll also look ahead to next week, back home for Midwest City coming to Racer Stadium. We'll preview that a little bit in the post-game show after the final whistle here from Duncan. TJ Bradford, not a whole lot there.
Wow.
Oh, my gosh, I spoke too soon. TJ Bradford down the sideline, and he smartly slides down to stay in bounds and keep working that clock. I will never doubt number 5 again, Billy. That was a cardinal sin on my part. I thought that play was over. All of a sudden, there he goes up the sideline for another Racer first down. This drive started way back on their own 10-yard line, and they have just ran it all the way down the field.
Oh, man, it's incredible. And just eating up the clock.
Oh, they're going to end the game, right? I mean, right now it's like Duncan won't even get the ball back at all. We're down to a minute.
Yeah, and I don't even see them really jumping out to do timeouts.
Yeah, I think they've kind of broken their will a bit on this drive. 1st and 10 at the 12. Again, you technically could take the score. Bradford loses a couple there for point differential purposes. I don't think they're worried about it that much, but just housekeeping purposes, it would technically help, possibly in the long run, but looks like Newcastle's content to just get out of here.
I think so.
I mean, you know what it means? You know how much you have to just kind of destroy someone's soul?
Yeah.
They don't even use the timeouts? I don't know if we're fully appreciating that. Duncan has just let this thing run out because Newcastle has just ran it and ran it and ran it some more. Bradford again pushing forward. He'll get a couple, and that'll be it unless Duncan takes a timeout, which I don't think they're going to. And I think, you know what? I honestly think that's part of Duncan playing the point differential game. I think they're saying, let's just end this drive at 13 because if we keep taking timeouts, we're probably going to lose by more.
Absolutely. I think it's very smart.
That is it. What a drive to end this game. The Racers go 6 minutes. Oh, Newcastle took a timeout. They're going to kick a field goal. They're going to kick a field goal. They took a timeout with, I think, a couple seconds left, and I guarantee you it's to kick a field goal for point differential purposes.
Absolutely.
I bet that's what it is.
Oh, man.
Wow.
They put 2 seconds back on.
Yeah, they put 2 seconds on.
This is almost the equivalent of planting your flag.
It's smart.
It's
smart. It's tough. I know, if you're not aware of it, you could see this and kind of be like, hey, that's not cool, but, it's the smart move.
Yeah,
it's a smart move. You can't just give points away.
No, you've got to, just in case. Again, it just might come down to a few points, differential points.
So they're going to kick a field goal here with 2 seconds up by 13. You don't see this very often. On what down is it, by the way? Third down, they're kicking this.
Wow.
And this will be the final play of the game.
Wow. Yeah, we may need to hurry and get out of here.
It's a funny, but it's a smart play. It's a smart play.
It is. It's very smart.
I'm sure Duncan
understands
that. Yeah. So 2 seconds. We're going to try what would be a 29-yard field goal from Adrano. And he boots it through, and the Racers are going to get the full 15 on it as they win it by a final score of 44-28. Boy, a really impressive second half tonight for the Racers. And they have opened up district play on the right side at 3-2 with a 16-point win here tonight in Duncan. All right, we're going to go ahead and step aside real quick. Bill and I will come back, and we'll wrap it all up from Duncan. Newcastle beats the Demons 44-28 to open up district play. Post-game show next, right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
Like there was a time when you'd have to put a hole there and 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 there. But this is just the same basic hole, and then you pick the direction you want to go.
Just having a 3-mile lateral, I think you're eliminating something like 60 wells that you'd have to put in.
That's a great leap forward.
You're able to tap the reservoir, and you have less of a footprint.
It never fails to blow me away.
Stuck inside for Wi-Fi? Not this summer. With Pioneer Fiber, get backyard Wi-Fi up to 950 feet from your home. So you can binge, game, Zoom, or work straight from your hammock. Add it for just $9.95 a month or get it free with a gig bundle. That's cheaper than your cold brew fix. Visit a Pioneer store or gopioneer.com and level up your summer.
All right, back here in Duncan, Josh Calloway, Billy Collier wrapping this one up from Halliburton Stadium, McCaslin Field. Newcastle beats Duncan 44-28. Go to 3-2 on the season, 1-0 in district play. Duncan falls to 3-2 on the year and 0-1 in district play. Billy, this was a really impressive second half, especially. The Racers, it was, only 13-0, which might not seem too eye-popping of a score number in the second half, but They totally dominated the second half of this game. I mean, they pitch a shutout after that high-scoring first half. You give up 28 points. Sawyer Rice runs for 4 touchdowns. They hold them out of the end zone completely, hold them off the scoreboard completely in the second half, and they ran the ball at will. That was a seriously impressive second half of football played by the Racers tonight.
Well, and if you look at time of time of possession, I just had a brain fart.
It's been a long
But you
night.
look at the time of possession,
Yeah.
and you had Newcastle probably had it for 3/4 of the half.
Yeah, I bet.
And that's
just in that
why,
fourth quarter alone.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's why I think there was low scoring. The fact that they could keep them out, turn it over on 2 fourth downs, got another fumble from the one who was making all their touchdowns. I think the second half, they took over, dominated on the ground. They dominated on defense and on offense.
Mm-hmm.
They ran and just wore down Duncan.
And it's kind of amazing that you take a game that was obviously back and forth, a 3-point game at halftime, and you end up winning by 16. You just maxed this out as far from the standings perspective. You won, and you won by at least 15. So on paper, you did everything you could have. If you won this game 60-0, it would have came out the same in the standings, 1-0 with a plus 15. So to find a way to win this thing, to win it, period, but then to win it by 16 and get the full 15 points on your point differential, a highly successful night at the Yard for Newcastle. Let's go ahead and give out our Integris Health Newcastle Player of the Game Award. Integris Health in Newcastle offers various medical services, including primary care, urgent care, and cardiology. The Integris Health Medical Group Newcastle is located at 2191 North Main Street, or you can call them at 405-633-9105. You and I were kind of talking about this in the break. Where do we want to go? And we're like, Ben Rogers ran for 2 touchdowns. T.J. Bradford had a huge night, including well over 100 yards and a touchdown. Blake Cresswell ran for a touchdown. Then we kind of realized, you run for 5 touchdowns. Let's give it to the big boys. The offensive line tonight, you run for 5 touchdowns, and that final drive alone, just munching up 6 or 7 minutes of clock there at the end to end this game. The Newcastle offensive line was awesome tonight.
Well, they were just crunching up. In that second half, they were just crunching up the defensive line. They were stopping them. They were pegging them. I mean, I don't know that I saw more than 2 or 3 negative runs for Bradford and Rogers in the second half, and they were just opening it up and driving their guys backwards. And so I think they are well deserving of that, of how hard they fought, how hard they played.
No doubt. That was an awesome display. And, again, that last drive alone, you go from your own 10 all the way down inside, and they kicked the field goal just because they chose to. They probably could have finished that off and punched in if they wanted. That was some seriously impressive stuff. So the big boys, the entire Racer offensive line, are Integris Health Newcastle Player of the Game Award tonight.
The nasties.
Yeah, they earned it tonight. That was quite a display by the big boys up front tonight here in Duncan. All right, Billy, so a great start to district play. You come out, you're 1-0. Like I said, they maxed it out. They got the full 15. Midwest City comes to Newcastle next week, the first Friday of October. You just showed me the score. Midwest City lost to Southeast tonight. So Southeast, the Spartans, are 5-0 and 1-0 in district play. We'll see them later. We're going to see the Bombers next. Obviously, we knew Midwest City not off to a great start to their season. That's a rough loss tonight for them to Southeast, one that they probably felt like that's a game that you're hoping you need to get when you're talking about playoff positioning and trying to get to the playoffs. Bombers are going to be 0-1. They're going to be a desperate team coming to Newcastle next week. Some early thoughts there as the Bombers will make their way to Gene Reed Field in the Castle next Friday night.
Well, if you grew up around Oklahoma City and Moore, Edmond, all that, you know that Midwest City has a long time they're proud.
Yeah, what's going on?
Group. And so they're not going to come in next week thinking, "Oh, poor us, poor us."
Yeah.
They're mad. I guarantee you, there's some anger on that side right now. And so for them to come in next week, I would be ready for an angry / desperate team.
You read my mind, desperate.
Want to come in and turn this season around.
Yeah, you read my mind, desperate. I mean, if you're a Midwest City team that's saying, what's our path to the playoffs? What's our path to getting in the top 4? I guarantee you beating Southeast was in that path. So now you got to go find a way to get one that you maybe weren't banking on getting. I would think at Newcastle is one of those. So that's a Bomber team that if you're trying to turn your season around, that's a big opportunity for them next Friday at Racer Stadium.
Absolutely.
And Midwest City, obviously, an OSN school. Jordan Ray and Tom Carpenter, who do the broadcast for them, do a great job. I'll be watching that game back tonight to see what happened. I mean, they scored, was it 19-8 was the final?
19-8.
I mean, just struggling to score.
So we're ahead of Southeast because they only had a 9-point differential.
That's right.
There you go.
Newcastle will be tied for first place after tonight because they did all they could do, which is win, and they won by 15 or more.
That's right.
Great night at the ballpark for the Racers. This was a game that, at halftime was definitely in doubt. I mean, it was a 3-point game. Duncan was running all over the place, but Newcastle, give Coach Brickman and that staff a lot of credit. Whatever they said at halftime, it worked because Newcastle defensively locked it down in the second half tonight. Duncan couldn't do anything in the second half of this game.
They came out as men, bigger than they were in the first half, and just shut everything down. Everything Duncan tried to run at them, whether it was a pass, runs from Rice that were successful in the first half, got 2 yards in the second half. Runs from Tavian Holland that got 8 and 9 yards in the first half, got 1 or 2 in the second half. And so it was really just a great turnaround coming into the second half. And like I said, just came out as men.
Great second half, a great way to start district play. Got tested a little bit. Defending district champs, you got Duncan's best shot, and they responded and they answered it, and they got a great win here on the road tonight. Newcastle beats Duncan 44-28, 3-2 overall in the season, and a great 1-0 start to district play. Next Friday night, back at home, taking on the Midwest City Bombers. 6:30 pregame, 7 o'clock kick at Racer Stadium. We'll be there for you, obviously, as we will all season long. Be sure to tune in to the Coach's Show, the great Gene Reed at Luigi's on Thursday nights. If you can't be there at 6:30, tune in on the Oklahoma Sports Network and hang out with the guys as they set the table for the next Friday night's game every single week, and obviously wrap up this one. Talk to Coach Brickman and the team every Thursday night. They do a great job, so be sure to tune in Thursday night for the Coach's Show right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network. That's it for us tonight. For Uriah Martinez, did a great job working camera as always. My partner, Billy Collier. A big thank you to everyone out here in Duncan. Some of the best hospitality we've ever had. They're just dropping full pizzas off for us in here. They're giving us drinks. They set us up. Everyone was extremely nice out here in Duncan. So big thank you to everyone out here, and look forward to coming back down the road.
We have never been treated this well at an away game.
It was great.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, it's not Luigi's, but they treated us great out here. Really
it was great. It was great. Appreciate everyone again, and it was a good trip out here. Newcastle gets it done, 44-28. That's it. Josh Calloway signing off from Duncan. We'll see you next Friday night back at home. The Racers host Midwest City, pregame 6:30, kickoff at 7 next Friday night. That's it for us. For Billy Collier, Uriah Martinez, I'm Josh Calloway. Good night, everyone, from Duncan.